break it down now.
The numbers told the story, they always do. It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. It's Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody, alongside on this Monday morning guessing lines, Week 15 in the National Football League. How you doing?
Doing great. It's a cold one out there, Gil. Got to be careful.
It's not cold at all, Kelley.
It's cold everywhere.
You're going to make it.
Good luck, everybody.
Going to make it. Kelley's concerned about you and the weather. On the show today, for those who don't know the whole guessing lines process, I don't know the lines. I guess them this morning after we recap all the games from this past Sunday. Kelley tells me what they are. Within that process, we look for value. Last week, that worked out very well, as most weeks do. Hit on Pittsburgh. Hit on the Jaguars. Did not hit on Washington.
Boy, Commanders. Yeah.
If you're going to lose, you might as well lose that one.
Yeah, for real. That was never even close.
And we will talk college football playoff later on the show. I got so much to say. It's nice being right. It's nice being right about it. And a plus 450 dog on Miami.
Good on you. Good on Danny. Good on everybody who hit on those Miami bets, man.
Yeah, we'll get into it later because much to be said about this. Because I know some people are just incensed, outraged. What's the word? Just beside themselves. I love that
I just
phrase.
Sit there and chuckle. I just chuckle. We talked about it last week, man. Like they telegraph the pass these days.
They telegraphed the pass, and we'll get into it because within the conversation, that there's a talking point I have about that I think. That there's too many people taking literally from week to week. We'll get into it. I don't want to, get in front of that. Circus Survivor is how we start though each and every week. And boy, oh boy, you thought Thanksgiving Carnage was the end of it, huh? Nope. 34 out of the remaining 45 entries in Circus Survivor gone yesterday. Good God. So we are down to 11 left, Kelley. 11 out of 18,718 entries that started Circus Survivor 2025. That means that 99.94% are gone. And the actual intrinsic, well, I shouldn't say actual intrinsic, the intrinsic value, the implied value of each of these remaining entries, and by the way, one is on Philly tonight, I believe.
Yes.
There could be 10 after tonight. But right now, at 11 left, implied value of each. Any guesses, Kelley?
Oh, I have no idea.
Ballpark? Nothing?
What you got?
Beep, boop, 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 boop. $1.701 million. In other words, $1,701,636.36.
What was it entering this week? Do you know? Do you remember from last week?
Yes, I do. 415,000.
Oh my God! I didn't realize it jumped that much.
Oh yeah. When you get this far deep into it,
I'd be partying today. If I was still involved, I wouldn't be here today.
It's time to talk chop, I believe, if they're
right. Yes,
for those folks. But let's put it in another way. And K Florenzo has done so great, giving us sort of survivor availability stats throughout all this. He put it this way, and I think this is the correct way to put it. 10 days ago. Is that correct? Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Well, let's say 11 days ago now. There were 900 entries left. 11 days ago. There are now 11 left. So in the last, and you could have said last night, you could have said the last 10 days.
Yeah, we still knew several people involved back then, Gill.
Remember that?
Back in the day.
We are old enough to remember that, where we knew people in this. In the last 10 days, we've lost 98.78% of the remaining 900 entries. That is insanity. And this is the year where, again, it's the highest percent. Look, they're all over 99% except for year one at this point in terms of what would be gone year after year in the 6-year history of Survivor. But this is the cream of the crop. Turned out to be with this late surge. The thing is, do we get to the end now before there's a chop? I'm going to guess there's a deal made before the end.
I think there's a deal made.
Yeah. But all it takes is one. All it takes is one person to say no.
Right, which we've seen that before.
Yes, we have.
We've seen that before. So I'm very glad you said that because you know what? I'll put it at 50-50. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some holdouts that want to play it out, but I think people would be a little bit more encouraged to chop especially after seeing the past couple weeks too.
Absolutely.
Right?
But you know this, I say this every year. one of the people controlling the last 11 might say to themselves, might actually be saying to themselves, self, I'm just better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's me. I did this. In fact, not only did I do this, I think my entry's better. The one that I have, my entry in terms of availability is better than everybody else's. So they can eat it. We're taking this to the end.
I think there's that factor.
Yeah.
There's the, what was his name? Sean Perry, right?
Sean Perry.
Like the other factor, right,
Our
is
boy.
I'm talking about, because I think I'd be in that crowd of like, hey, all of a sudden, are you holding a bunch of scared money that you'd like to maybe chop up and cash out and get out of this thing? Yeah, there's probably going to be some of those people, but there's maybe others like a Sean Perry that are very used to having large amounts of money on the line that are saying to themselves, why'd I enter this thing?
Sean Perry can tell you anything he wants. 1.7 million is 1.7 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But why'd I enter this thing? I entered this thing to win it, not to get to this point and chop, right?
That's all it takes is one.
All it takes
But
is
we're down to 11. Congratulations to those that control the remaining 11. We'll see if it's 10 after tonight with the Eagles and the Chargers. You have anything in the Eagles-Chargers game tonight?
I have nothing. Absolutely
Me
nothing.
neither.
Under 3, it feels. I want to say Eagles, but I've kind of, I think I've hit the pause button on this team, Gill, of going to back them.
As you should.
Yeah, it's just it's too much. There's too many of these teams this year. There's too much talent, and it's week after week for them to have question mark after question mark. It's just, I'm tired of backing it up with money.
Massive implications. Eagles lose, then the Cowboys are like, oh, we're still in this. Eagles win, maybe not so much. Chargers win-loss has something to do with everybody in the wild card race in the American Football Conference. We got to get into some of these games from yesterday. What a weekend of things to talk about within these games as we try to guess some lines and look for value. Guessing lines, Week 15 in the National Football League. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. It's really nice of Missy Elliott to show up for this. LL Cool J for the crack intro.
We appreciate everybody for
a lot of help from a lot of people, and they all did it for free.
Yeah, I was going to say, taking the time out of their lives and
just
doing
big
it
fans.
for free.
Yeah.
All right, Thursday Night Football. Falcons at the Buccaneers.
Oh, boy. It's not very exciting.
No.
Atlanta loses the Seahawks yesterday. We can cut right to the second half. It was 6-6 between the Seahawks and the Falcons. Kind of a lethargic first half for the Hawks, and then it all turned around once the third quarter started. Shaheed returned the opening kickoff 100 yards to the house, 13-6 Seattle, 12 seconds in.
There he is.
And then Atlanta 3rd and 1 at the Seattle 18, ensuing drive. Bydlon hit by DeMarcus Lawrence, fumbles. Devin Witherspoon recovers. Seattle 8 plays, 88 yards. Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba from 8 out, 20-6 Seattle. 6:16 left third quarter. Then Atlanta 3rd and 3 at their own 42. Cousins picked by Nick Amonwori. Seattle will get it to 23-6 off that. And then 23-9 in the fourth quarter. Seattle would pile on some more. 6 plays, 60 yards. Darnold to Shaheed for 33 on 3rd and 7 at their own 38. Then, Darnold to Shaheed for 33 on 3rd and 6. Then 3 plays later to Kupp from 11 out, 30-9. With 12:13 left, Atlanta 3rd and 7 at their own 38. Cousins picked again by Witherspoon. You get the idea. Seattle set up at the Atlanta 35. 6 plays. Darnold to JSN from 4 out. 37-9. That's how it would end. A rout in a game that was tied at the half at 6 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's Atlanta as they drop to 4-9. They're taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And all of a sudden, Kelley, this NFC South is getting tight.
Yeah.
Gold member, you're looking tight. Or did Gold member say that to Austin Powers? I can never remember.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay loses to New Orleans. This was the biggest survivor culprit yesterday. The majority was on the Bucs in Circus Survivor. And I think most survivors around the country, Tampa Bay. New Orleans, to begin the game after a Mason Tipton 54-yard kickoff return, they go 6 plays, 45 yards. Devin Neal in from 3, 7-0 Saints. First 3 minutes of the game, Tampa Bay immediately responds. 7 plays, 67 yards. Baker to Bucky Irving from 24 out. We're tied at 7 apiece, a little less than halfway through the first. Next time Tampa Bay had the ball, and this became a theme, 4th and 1 at the New Orleans 45. Bucky Irving hit for a 7-yard loss by Carl Granderson. If there was only someone on the Bucs practice squad who could help with the 4th and shorts. New Orleans would, after Charlie Smith missed his 48-yard field goal try. Next time they had the ball, 7-7 game. First play, 1st and 5 at their own 21. Tyler Shuck picked by Zion McCollum. Tampa Bay set up at the New Orleans 40. They would settle for McLaughlin 41-yard field goal. That's a 41-yard field goal, 10-7 Bucks. 9-11 left in the second quarter. Tampa Bay, next time they had the ball, 4th and 1 at the New Orleans 49. They go for it. Tucker stuffed for no gain. If only there was someone on the practice squad. New Orleans 4th and 1 at the Tampa Bay 42. They returned the favor. Devin Neal hit for a 3-yard loss by Hassan Reddick. There's a Hassan Reddick sighting. Halftime, 10-7 Bucks. Third quarter, Tampa Bay 2nd and 1 at their own 41. Baker picked by Alante Taylor. New Orleans set up at the Tampa Bay 47. 3 plays. Shuck in from 34. Who is this guy? 14-10 Saints, 11:27 left third quarter. Tampa Bay then goes 65 yards. Tucker in from 1. They retake the lead 17-14 halfway through the third. Then after 17-17 game-tying field goal by Smith, then third quarter after it appeared, by the way, that field goal after it appeared that they might have gotten a first on 3rd and 2 but ruled short, then penalty on 3rd down forcing the settle for the field goal. No replay assist on that. Shades of Mako was upset by that on Twitter, the arbitrary nature of replay assist, as we've talked about many times.
Oh, it's so silly.
17 apiece, Tampa Bay 4th and 2 at the New Orleans 47. Baker incomplete, intended for Godwin. Then New Orleans set up at their own 47. 5 plays, 53 yards. Shuck, this time in from 13. And the Saints lead at 24-17 with 8:26 left. Tampa Bay, from their own 40, would get it to 4th and 12 with the New Orleans 19 with 4:58 left. They decided to kick a field goal to bring it to 24-20. That was curious with 4:54 left. And then 3 plays after Baker missed Buka wide open for the touchdown. That's when they kicked the field goal. Next time they had the ball from their own 20 with 1:48 left. No timeouts left. 4 and out. 4th and 4 at their own 26. Baker to Otten for 3 ball game. We'll get to the guesses. Looking for value. Next on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
If you missed it the first time, good news. We're giving you one last chance to score an unforgettable Vegas weekend at Circa Resort and Casino. A lot of people took advantage of this, but a lot of people have not yet. Right now, the first 100 new VSiN Pro annual subscribers who sign up using promo code CIRCA will receive a free 3-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino January 2nd through the 5th, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim during the final weekend of the NFL regular season. You also save 50% off the monthly price and get a full year of VSiN Pro. That's daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered prop tools, 24/7 video, and every betting guide from the college football playoff through next year's NFL. It's your last shot at the Circa getaway, so do not wait. Lock in your spot now at VSiN.com/Circa and use promo code CIRCA. C-I-R-C-A. Don't do an S. C-I-R-C-A. That's VSIN.com/Circa. That's how you do it right there.
There you go. It's back. What a great deal. That is an awesome deal from Circa. January 2 through 5. All right. There you go.
Day bed included.
Yeah. Figure out whatever you want to do for New Year's Eve. This is one of the best New Year's cities in the world. I'll go in the world. Sure. And then you just tack on a few extra days.
Do you think someone was listening to that? They're like, okay, right. And then when I said day bed, they're like, oh, day bed, I'm in.
And then
maybe.
Heated pools and the games are all on out there.
Did he just say day bed?
There's really not many. I'm like, can you think of many other places in this city that have heated outdoor pools that are open 24/7?
A lot of them are closed.
I mean, most of them are closed, yeah.
We get tweets speeding the book. Kevin Ryan, Gill, can CBS please find Tony Romo $1 million for every time he says, you're exactly right. I'm so over his drivel. That's Kevin Ryan, not me. Mandy Davison, one survivor this week was Seattle. Thank you to the chaos. Not a bad come up before the holidays. Good on you, Manny. You won a survivor. Foos, when you go over the Cleveland-Tennessee game, can you help me understand why Cleveland went for 2 down 14? Well, I don't want to do a whole 14-8-6 discussion again, Foos, but just know that it is analytically the correct thing to do with a certain amount of time left in the game. If you can do a flow chart that will give you the percentages as to why that is the correct move. Ben Handorf, Gilly, I'm sad. In our local survivor, I'm part of a group of 4 that had 2 out of 12 entries left. I implored the other 3 members to play New Orleans and Tampa Bay double-sided to guarantee an entry. We knew that 65% would be on Tampa Bay, yet my cries were ignored and we're out. Sorry, Ben. Sorry about that, man. Judd O'Connor got this before the weekend started. Panthers to win the NFC 90-1. Judd O'Connor. Figured they'd get a West Coast team in Carolina if they can get in the dance, dreary weather with a fantastic defense and a feisty team. Man, you're doing something with that. Hoops by Hoots. Oh, boy, here we go. We'll get to college football later, but you are ready for this? Here's one. Throw this into the barrel. Hoops by Hoots. Congrats to the Bear and all the other media members who use their platforms to help ESPN push their agenda and get the ESPN-owned conference teams into the playoff. What a complete joke. Oy vey.
Oh, man. The chaos. We got the chaos. I love it.
Shrek McPhee, who's going with a new handle. Bet on Yahoo. He's going with today. No SGA, no problem. Nobody's stopping this train. Thunder might win 78, he says. 78.
Yeah, pretty big win last night with no SGA.
T. Sheldall. Toit like a tiger. Gold member said that.
Yeah.
And Robert Square Bob 2022 says not invested at all in the college football playoff. Unbiased. It sure feels like JMU and Tulane have no business being in the bracket. Are either of these teams even one of the best 20 teams in college football? 2 spots for teams that deserve to be there seems obvious. Well, Robert, but in that case, when it comes to JMU and Tulane, that is part that at least they had one rule, right, which is the 5 best conference champions. So Duke lost 5 games. They never anticipated that the ACC champ wouldn't be in there. But in this 1 year, that's how the cookie crumbled based on that rule. So that's really not a point of contention because the rule existed. And I think we all agree with you. Neither of those teams has a shot in hell but to win it all. But that's just, those are based on the rules. And Bob C-137, Gill Alexander using all 12 minutes down to the second. Nice. Yes, sir. I'm going to do it again here. All right, by the way, that Thursday night football game, Kelley?
Yes, sir.
The guess for me, Atlanta at Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay's got troubles. They got troubles. That was a lackluster defensive performance, and they got bullied on those 4th and 1s by the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I got them at no man's land between 3 and 7. I got them -5.5 hosting the Falcons, who are dreadful.
Yeah, 4.5 to 5.5. You are spot on, my friend.
All right, let's go to Sunday.
Sunday, early window, Browns at Bears.
Browns at Bears. Browns at the Titans. What a game this turned out to be.
A barn burner.
Barn burner.
Who's setting these totals?
Drew got this right. Tennessee plus the points. Tennessee wins it outright. Tennessee, after a Chimere DK 41-yard kickoff return, 8 plays, 53 yards, wore to Ayo Manor from 14 out, 7-0 Titans, 5 minutes in. They always take the lead. Next time they had the ball, Tennessee 3rd and 9 at the Cleveland 24. Ward picked by Devin Bush, returns at 44 yards. Cleveland set up at the Tennessee 39. Schmidt with a 38-yard field goal cuts the lead to 7-3 late first quarter. Then Tennessee, 1 play, Pollard, great run from 65 out. Scampers into the end zone, 14-3 Titans late first quarter. But then Cleveland, first play, Shedeur to Judkins from 58. Mostly yak. 3 plays later, Shedeur to Njoku from 1 out. 14-10 Titans. And then 2 drives later for Cleveland, 3 plays, 74 yards. Shedeur for 14 to start. 2 plays later, Shedeur to Judy for 60. Touchdown. And the Cleveland Browns leave at the half by 3. Sorry to do that, boys. Third quarter, Cleveland. 4th time they had the ball after a punt fest. 2nd and 20 at their own 45. They're up 3. Shedeur picked deep by Xavier Woods. Should never have thrown that. Playing center field. Returns at 35 yards. Tennessee set up at the Cleveland 38. 2 plays. Pollard for 6. Pollard for 32. Touchdown. 21-17. The Titans retake the lead late third quarter. Fourth quarter. Cleveland. First play. Shedeur to Dylan Sanders. Hit by Marcus Harris. Fumbles. Recovered by Cedric Gray. Tennessee set up first and goal to Cleveland 8. 3 plays. Ward to DK from 5 out. 28-17 Titans. And then after a Corey Bajorquez's punt was blocked, Tennessee set up at the Cleveland 29. We get a sly field goal to go up 2 touchdowns with 6:17 left. 31-17. These are your Tennessee Titans. Cleveland, though, led by Shedeur Sanders. 66 yards. Shedeur in from 7. 2-point try fails. 31-23 with 4:27 left. But after a Tennessee 3-and-out, they get the ball back. Cleveland from their own 20 with 2:43 left. 2 timeouts of the 2-minute warning. 7 plays, 80 yards. Shedeur to Harold Fannin Jr. from 7 out. 31-29. 2-point conversion to tie it with 1:03 left. And let's just say that was ridiculous. Flushed out right. Throws it back left.
Oh, yeah.
Had no chance.
Oh, yeah.
Onside kick recovered. Ball game. Shedeur 23 of 42 for 364 for Cleveland. 364.
Yeah, man.
Oh, let the Shedeur groundswell continue. They're at Chicago.
I mean, he didn't look bad.
No, he didn't.
He didn't look terrible.
He did not. Not at all. Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears fans, let me just say something to you. In defeat, I end up gaining even more respect for you yesterday than I've had all year. Chicago loses the Packers. First half, much different from the second. First half, Green Bay from their own 11, 3rd and 19 at their own 48. Love picked by Gardner Johnson. Chicago set up at the Green Bay 36. They go back 5 yards. They have to punt. Green Bay at some point during the next drive, Tom Brady says this, Kelley, quote, "Keep that hand warm in the muff," unquote. Thought that was an interesting comment. I really know what to make of it. Punt. Next time Green Bay had the ball, 11 plays, 80 yards. Love to Watson from 23 out on 3rd and 10, 7-0 Packers, 9:19 left of the second. Later, 7-3 with 1:14 left. Green Bay electing not to use any of it. That was really weird, too. So Chicago had the ball down 7-0. Did you see this? And the Packers had all 3 timeouts left, and they just let the clock run. Matt LaFleur was like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, let it run all the way down to 1:14 with all 3 timeouts. Guess what? Didn't end up hurting them because Green Bay, after a kickoff short in the zone, got the ball at the 40-yard line. 4 plays, 60 yards. Love to Bo Melton from 45 out behind the defense. 14-3 Packers at the half. So it was really curiously done by Matt LaFleur, just letting the time go, and yet it didn't matter.
So, I did think it was odd, Gill, but, I think that's where we're at in the NFL these days. How many times have we talked about it this year about the not trying to save as much time?
Yeah, but that was ridiculous. We have another ridiculous example of that coming up later. Caleb, by the way, didn't have a completion until under 2 minutes of the first quarter. But the second half was completely different. Chicago, first time they had the ball after a Green Bay 3 and out. 10 plays, 64 yards. Caleb to Kmet for 26 on 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 37. Flushed out. Amazing pass by Caleb on the run. 4 plays later, Caleb to Zacchaeus from 1 out. Great sidearm dart. 2-point try. Good when Monungai seemingly was stopped, but was pushed in by his O-line. 14-11 Green Bay with 8:20 left in the third. Green Bay then 4 plays, 63 yards. Love to Watson from 41 out to make it 21-11. Then at 21-14, Chicago 17-play, 83-yard drive, 5 third downs converted, none bigger than Caleb's quick hitter to Burden for 10 on 3rd and 8 at the Green Bay 15. 3 plays later, Caleb to Colston Loveland from 1 out, wide open. We're tied at 21 with 8 minutes left, and Green Bay responds. 8 plays, 65 yards. Jacobs in from 2, accounts for 42 yards on the drive, 21-yard run on 3rd and 2 at the Chicago 28, the big one. 28-21 Packers. And then Chicago with all their timeouts and the 2-minute warning. This was like, hey, Matt LaFleur, watch this for Ben Johnson. From their own 26, Caleb to Burden for 27 to start. 2 plays later to Devin Duvernay for 24. The 2-minute warning, they're at the Green Bay 23, down 7. 1st and 10, Monungai for 6, then 3, then stuffed. They didn't use a timeout till there was 27 seconds left. And then the 4th and inches, they had Caleb flushed out to the left and throwing across his body. It was ridiculous. And the Bears lose it. What was Ben Johnson doing? Guess on that one coming up on A Numbers Game right here at VSiN.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Ready to boost your bankroll? Brocco's giving new depositors a 50% purchase bonus. Just use promo code VSiN when you sign up. Brocco's lines are live on our VSiN betting splits page. See where the action is moving before you bet. Turn your bonus into an edge with insight that matters. Go to Play Brocco, that's BRACCO, playbrocco.com today, and use promo code VSiN. Jeff Holdorf on Twitter. Pardon me, Kelley, but has anybody actually seen a barn engulfed in flames while watching a well-contested professional football contest? Thoughts to ponder. Love the show, guys. Awesome effort every day.
Man.
Talking about a barn burner. That's what he's talking about.
I've looked up the origin of that one, too, and I don't remember it already. It wasn't that long ago.
What is Chris Hauser referring to when he says, no deal is going to be made? Some people may sell pieces or do swap. Oh, he's talking about Survivor. But there isn't going to be a deal. Well, a deal in the sense that they will come up with some kind of chop at some point and then play on as they do every year. I don't know why you would feel that would be different this year. Roger Jones, definitely the Golden Nugget and Caesar's Palace heated year-round pools. They have heated year-round pools as well.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. There's 2. Yeah, Golden Nugget.
That's right. I knew
Golden
that about
Nugget.
Golden Nugget. Yeah.
You could walk around and you could see it always in operation. Okay, back to
we never talk about that place. It is a cool little property in town, you know?
It is.
I think if I was out here longer than when I moved here, if I was out here 25 years ago, I would have much more appreciation for it.
Golden Nugget is where I stayed when I first met Crack. When Crack Cole called me, he goes,
right.
I'm going to put you up at a suite. You're going to ask for Rosemary. I'm like, who in the hell is this? What is happening? Actually, I knew Crack was at that point. Okay, back to the game. So it's Cleveland at Chicago. Let me just talk again about Chicago at Green Bay, because I cannot emphasize this enough. It was so strange by Matt LaFleur in terms of the usage of timeouts or lack of usage when the Bears had the ball in the first half to bring it down to 1:14. Literally let 40 seconds go by. It still worked out for him, right? Because they scored. after the kickoff was short of the landing zone. But then the Bears had the ball with 2 minutes left and all of their timeouts at the Green Bay 23-yard line. And I get it. You want to milk it as much as possible because you don't want Jordan Love matriculating to get the field goal. But you go Monungai for 6, Monungai for 3, and then he's stuffed. And you have 27 seconds left before you use the first time out. And so at that point, 4th and short, even if you do get it, then all of a sudden it becomes way too harried of a situation. Yeah. And instead, the play call they do is this fake handoff spinorama where Caleb is going against his body and he has to throw it against his body. He's got Cole Kmet open in the end zone, but he's, because it's awkward throw, he throws it short. Keyshawn Nixon picks it off, and that's the ball game. I still thought that was a highly entertaining football game, and I thought the Bears comported themselves very well on the road at Green Bay, despite losing. This one, though, Cleveland at Chicago. Chicago minus 7.5. Got to be more than a touchdown.
Open places 7 and 7.5. I know I saw yesterday we are at a flat 7 pretty much.
Oh, wow. Now. It's a little surprising. Myles Garrett with another sack yesterday. All right, what's next?
Yeah, another sack. I mean, that defense, though. Ooh, Cleveland.
Yeah.
We made a big deal about it. Did you not listen to the show, Cleveland, on Thursday or Friday when we talked about you not being eliminated yet? Come on. What were you doing? Looks like the defense is on vacation now. All right, Sunday early window, Ravens at the Bengals.
Oh, boy. Yeah, remember when we thought this game might have some implications? Well, it does for the Ravens still. The Bengals, you can Katie bar the door. It's over. Both of these teams lose yesterday, and both lose in dramatic fashion. First, the Ravens, who fall to 6 and 7, losing the battle for the AFC North lead to the Steelers. 3-0, Baltimore, early first quarter. Pittsburgh, first play on offense, 1st and 10 at their own 35. Rodgers to DK Metcalf for 52. Whoa, is this a Pittsburgh offense? 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. 7 plays later, after converting a 4th and 1 along the way, Rodgers in from 1. Did I mention he's 42? 7-3 Pittsburgh. Then it got to 10-3 Pittsburgh. Baltimore, 3rd and 4 at their own 32. Lamar picked by James Pierce. Pittsburgh set up at the Baltimore 36. Boswell chip shot field goal good, but an unnecessary roughness on Baltimore creates a 1st and goal to 6. They take the points off the board. Gainwell in from 6. One play, 17-3 Steelers. 6:05 left in the second quarter. And then Baltimore, after kickoff was short of the landing zone from their own 40, 60 yards. Lamar in from 6. 17-9, and Loop misses the extra point badly. Whenever that happens, is there a little voice in your head that goes, yeah, it's not meant to be? It's just even little moments of happiness can't be sustained.
No, it's always me yelling on the couch, and you know what I'm yelling every time. Sure, that won't come back to matter at all.
Pittsburgh then, second half, they get it up to 20-9. Baltimore, 3rd and 1 at their own 38. Keaton Mitchell for 55. 3 plays later, Lamar to Likely from 4 out, 20-16 Pittsburgh. Halfway through the third, Pittsburgh would respond, though. 6 plays, 80 yards. Rodgers to Austin for 31 on 3rd and 5 from their own 25. Great pass by Aaron Rodgers. 3 plays later, Rodgers to Jalen Warren for 38. The D was nowhere to be found. 27-16 Pittsburgh, 3:30 left third quarter. All right, 27-19. You know where I'm going now. Early fourth quarter, 27-19. After Lamar misses Bateman wide open in the flat on the previous play, that's when they had to settle for the field goal to make it 27-19. Next time Baltimore had the ball from their own 32, Lamar to Zay for 35 to start. They convert a 4th and 1 at the Pittsburgh 24 with a Henry 4-yard run, but they have to settle for another loop field goal. 27-22. At this point now, Pittsburgh is just hanging on for dear life. Second straight 3 and out. Baltimore from their own 22. They're down 5 with 5:41 left fourth quarter. 4th and 5 at their own 46. Lamar to Zay for 6. To Zay Flowers for 6. 3 plays later, to Zay for 33. Next play, Kelley, Lamar to Likely in the end zone from 13 out. Touchdown. Then reversed to not completing the catch. Now, I just want to say this. Y'all remember that game in Week 8 when Green Bay played the Pittsburgh Steelers? Yep. It was a 35-19 game. It was just north of the 2-minute warning. Rodgers went to Roman Wilson. And Wilson, backpedaling, caught the ball. Remember, the ball was above him. He was holding the ball with 2 hands above his head. And he was backpedaling, and he put 3 feet down. And they said, oh, that's a touchdown. And it was. This one yesterday, They were word salading their way to try to figure out how to explain this off football move. There's no football moves in the end zone. But just shy of his third step likely got the ball dislodged. So just say that that's the differentiator. Don't go all into this other kind of explanation. Because I was like, didn't we just see that count as a touchdown somewhere else? Mm-hmm. But this was ruled no touchdown. By the way, Terry McCauley in the Roman Wilson one said that one should absolutely be a touchdown. This one they all got wrong. 4th and 5 of the Pittsburgh 8, Lamar incomplete intended for Andrews. They'd get the ball back again, though, after another 3 and out. Baltimore from their own 26 with 1:56 left in the fourth quarter, 1 timeout. They get it to the Pittsburgh 39 with 16 seconds left. Then at the 30 with 9 seconds left, Lamar sacked by Alex Highsmith. Ball game. What could have been. The Baltimore Ravens, can we just say this now? Because this one I did get right. The most consistently overrated team by a market for as long a period of time in any season as I can ever remember for any team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And then
it felt like that for a long time last year with San Francisco, but not to this level.
The priors on Baltimore just refused to be unstuck from them. And yet they still could get the playoffs. They still get it. Cincinnati's where they're traveling next week. Cincinnati loses to Buffalo. Maybe the game of the day. Cincinnati 14 plays 67 yards through the snow. 4 third down conversions. Chase Brown in from 5, 7-0 Bengals. 7-3 now. Cincinnati 6 plays 55 yards. Burrow to Higgins from 21 out. 14-3 Bengals early second quarter. Buffalo 4th and 4. The Cincinnati 45. Allen scrambling to Davis for 17. Then 6 plays later, 4th and 4. The Cincinnati 11. Allen scrambling for dear life. Has no chance. Somehow threads it through the Bengals into the end zone to Shakir. 14-9. Roughing the passer call. So from the 1, they go for 2. Allen and Knox is 14-11. Halfway through the second. And Cincinnati, 69 yards, big PI, sets up Burrow to Chase Brown from 10 out. Great pass and catch. 21-11 Bengals at the half. Third quarter. Buffalo, 75 yards. Allen to Cook for 27 on 3rd and 3 at the Cincinnati 36. 2 plays later to Kincaid from 5 out. 21-18 Bengals. Next time Buffalo had the ball from their own 28. First goal to 2. Cook hit by DJ Turner. Fumbles. Recovered by Oren Burke. And at that point you thought, wow, is Cincinnati going to win this ball game after a play like that? And sure enough, Cincinnati goes 12 plays, 75 yards. Burrow to Gesicki from 12 out after a big 18-yard hookup with Higgins on 3rd and 6, 2 plays earlier. 28-18 Bengals, 8:44 left in the ballgame. Kelley, they're up 10 with 8:44 left.
What could go wrong?
I'll tell you what. Buffalo, 4 plays, 68 yards. Allen in from 40. 28-25 Bengals, 7:33 left. Then Cincinnati, 1st and 10, the Buffalo 33. Play of the game. Burrow tries to shove the ball over, like shot put the ball over to Jamar.
Weird. Yeah.
Picked by Christian Benford, 63 yards to the house, and Buffalo takes the lead 32-28 with 5:25 left. And then the first play of the next drive, 1st and 10, their own 34. Burrow picked by Epinesa. Buffalo set up at the Cincinnati 29, 4th and goal to 3. They eschew the Prater chip shot field goal, no pass rush at all. Allen to Jackson Hawes, touchdown, 39-28 with 3:03 left. The Bengals would get within the number, though. 4 plays, 66 yards. Burrow to Gesicki for 37. One-handed snag to start. Burrow to Higgins, one-handed catch. Beautiful catch. Maybe the catch of the day. To end from 25 out, 39-34 with 2:13 left. 2-point try fumbled away, though. And then Buffalo, after Cincinnati kicks away with 1 timeout and 2-minute warning, they end up with a 3rd and 15 at their own 25, and Allen goes for 17. Ball game. What a finish. From 10 down to going up 2 scores before they win it by 5. I'll say Cincinnati minus 1.5 hosting Baltimore.
Nope, we've got Ravens favored in this game. Still, 2.5.
Ooh, we got to talk about that next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander, it's my little buddy Kelley Bydlon, everybody, alongside here at the lovely Circle Resort Casino. We get tweets of beating the book Roger Jones. Oh, excuse me, I already read that one. 3Jack H3131, pardon me. Gill, do you think Katie barred the barn door before engulfing it in flames? Probably put her foot in the ground and headed for green grass afterwards. Also, shout out to Dr. Bob, yes, for the Cincy Bills over 53.5 winner. That was a great handicap from Bob on Friday, who basically said, look, snow helps the offense. It's about 1 point more in favor of the offense. Never believe people when they tell you that that's good for the defense in terms of scoring. Jason Stark, you guys know about my allegiance. I told my wife after the game, he's a Steelers fan is what he means. He says, I told my wife after the game, quote, the refs gave us one today. At least they can't take it away from us in the standings. If I was a Ravens fan, I'd be extremely pissed right now. It's just let's put it this
It's
way.
inconsistency.
It's inconsistent, and they do a terrible job of explaining things. Because, again, if they just said, well, likely didn't get the third foot down is the difference between that and the Roman Wilson play from, however many weeks ago, then it's a very simple explanation. But instead they do this football move thing. There are no football moves in the end zone when you're standing like that. It's feet down. You don't have to go forward for a football move, right? So it's just, and by the way, the ground causing is a totally different set of rules. But just everything with replay assists yesterday, which we'll get into, it was just a horrible day of officiating inconsistency, and it only leads to the conclusion or the final sentence that I've said for many years, which is we bet on this stuff. Like, it's just insane that we are betting on stuff where you have no idea from game to game how they're gonna blow the whistle or not.
Yeah, man, perfectly said. Look, there's gonna be some. I think there's gonna be some endings we're gonna talk about here where I think people are getting too upset about that.
Yes, there's that too.
That likely catch, man. If I'm a Ravens fan, Ravens backer in that situation, it's you summed it up perfectly, Gil. We only ask for consistency, right? And it's the problem is that you start to learn of what they're gonna call in the end zone, and that's like I just watched it a few more times during the last break. It's ball caught, multiple feet in before a hand ends up coming in and punches that out. Like, no, as soon as that's catch in the end zone, it's over. It's done.
And beyond that play,
that's what we've been told.
I mean, beyond that play, remember the Broncos-Skins game from last week, Sunday Night Football, where Terry McAulay on 2 consecutive plays, right? Yeah. False start on McLaurin, and then that's not intentional grounding at all on the next play to Mariota. If an official, a guy who was an official for decades, who's now consulting the broadcast, has no idea what you're doing, and vice versa, by the way, where they often get it wrong too. I don't know what we're doing.
The problem is you bring the thing full circle of I don't know what a catch is, right? Because it's you know what? I've got a pretty good idea. This is where the likely thing comes in. Going into that game yesterday, I would have said, you know what? I've got a pretty good idea of what a catch is in the regular field of play, Gill. And I've got a pretty good idea of what a catch is in the end zone. As ridiculous as it is, I've got a pretty good idea. And then that likely play happens and goes, I don't know. Never mind, I don't know.
I'll take it one step further. Kelley, when we were 8 years old, we knew what a catch was.
It's always that.
And now we don't know.
No, it's always that.
Colin Murphy, I said the same exact thing about the Ravens yesterday that you did, Gill. The best comp I have is Baylor and Virginia Tech in college football. Take money every week and don't come close to covering the number. I'll happily fade every week. Roger Jones, glad you guys like the Nugget Pool. Very underrated with water slide through the Shark Tank. Yeah. Tom K, agree on the Ravens never being adjusted. I feel the same way about the Chiefs this year. Classic must-win game with higher line than you'd expect, but don't win. Tronsky, hey, Kelley, isn't it just like the NBA to really take advantage of the end of college football regular season and squeeze in 3 games tonight, 2 games tomorrow, and 2 games Wednesday for Thursday? Who's running this outfit? Is this a week off, Gill?
NBA Cup, bro. Got to get pumped, man. NBA Cup starts tomorrow night.
It is ridiculous. And Rockette Morton, this will be in my college football rant later, what you're saying right now. It goes, BYU, soundly defeated in a championship game by a top 4 team. Relegated to the outer darkness. Alabama, soundly defeated in a championship game by a top 4 team. Doesn't fall outside the top 10. Oh, we'll get into all of that after guessing lines. About that, the Ravens Bengals. And I just guessed the Bengals 1.5, and you told me it's the Ravens minus 2.5. Why? Why are the Ravens a road favorite against the Bengals? What have they done in any of this to suggest that they should be a road favorite here?
Nothing, Gil.
Thank you.
We hit on it earlier. It's they've been constantly rated higher than.
I'll say it again.
Than they should be.
I believe. I don't remember. Maybe I'm prisoner of the moment because maybe there was a team that I'm forgetting about in the past. Maybe it was another version of this Ravens team, for all I know. Or
that team. Niners team last year
maybe
felt like they were power rated too high almost every week.
And I'm the guy who said at 1-5, I think they could make the playoffs still. But then remember at 6-5, I'm like, I don't think they're making the playoffs because nothing in that 5-game winning streak proved anything.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew. I think Drew said it last week about this game on his pod. It doesn't even matter anymore what you have their opponent power rated at. It just matters where you have the Ravens power rated at.
It's very strange. Next.
All right, next up, early window Chargers at Chiefs.
Anyway, so I just bet the Bengals. That's my first bet. Chargers at the Chiefs, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Chargers play tonight. They play the Eagles. I kind of lean under. Haven't bet it yet. We'll see. So Chargers sight unseen in this one next week against the Chiefs. The Chiefs yesterday, for those who watched it, were we watching the end of the Chiefs dynasty? The final nail in the coffin. Not mathematically, but it sure felt that way. Kansas City against Houston last night. First play from scrimmage, Kelley. Left tackle Wanye Morris. Hurt. I could make an on-bended knee joke there for those who know what I'm talking about, but the poor guy got hurt, so I'm not going to do it. Houston, second drive, first play, first and 10 at their own 33. Stroud to Collins for 46. 3 plays later, third and 10 at the Kansas City 21. Stroud to Higgins for 9. Replay assist comes in and says it was a first down. That he got 10 yards, not 9 yards. KC says, you know what, replay assist? I don't think you're right.
That's weird.
I'm going to challenge replay assist. Guess what? Replay assist overturned 4th and inches at the KC 12. And then Cade Stover gets the first, but Houston is ruled offside by a human ref, and replay assist is nowhere to be found because I don't think it looked offside.
Yeah.
That was, of all the refereeing, all the officiating sequences of the day, and I'm talking everything we saw, that was the most bizarro of anything all weekend.
So you know what my biggest question coming out of that was how, why would you institute replay assist and allow it to be challenged then?
Well, this is the point.
Shouldn't that be the overriding, we saw it, it's clear.
There's many levels here.
Let's clear this all up for everybody.
One, we were never told about all the applications of replay assist, nor were we told that when it was coming onto the scene. We were just it was kind of like after that, replay assist. What? We were never told when it's applied. Then yes, you are correct, Kelley. We were then led to believe that replay assist is basically the voice of God, meaning that it had to be clear and obvious, right? A clear and obvious mistake by a human on the field. The replay assist will come in, hey, you're wrong. It's this.
Right, yes.
But
yes.
instead, last night, it was proven that it is, in fact, fallible.
That it's just another. It's another guy making a call. Guy.
And the guys on the sidelines, meaning the Chiefs, were like, hey, you know what, guy? I don't think you're right. And they were right that they were wrong. Does this make any sense?
Yeah, I don't like the stones it takes to even challenge that, right? I'd be like, well, there's no way. They're going to uphold it just to uphold their own system.
Well, and then just the next play, when they said the Texans were offside, I don't know that they were, and there was no replay assist to be found. Anyway, They settled for a field goal, 3-0 Texans. Then the Texans from their own 10 would have been a 3-and-out, but a phantom defensive holding call on third extends the drive, and instead they matriculate at 90 yards in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Stroud to Collins for 53, the big one. 3 plays later on third and goal, Stroud to Marks from 9 out, uncovered. 10-0 Texans, 9:24 left in the second quarter. Kansas City, 2nd and 9 at their own 36. Mahomes intended for Juju, batted up by Jalen Petre, who runs around the receiver and catches it before he hits the turf. What a pick. Kansas City, next time they had the ball from their own 3, Butker, 43-yard field goal try, doinks off the right upright. It's 10-0 Texans at the half. Code red for the Chiefs. But in the second half, Steve Spagnuolo brought it with that Chiefs defense. Houston 3-and-out. Kansas City then from their own 44. 8 plays, 56 yards. Mahomes to Hollywood Brown for 35 to start. 7 plays later, 4th and 1 at the Houston 2. Danielle Hunter has Hunt, but Hunt plows through him. Touchdown. 10-7 Houston, 9:52 left third quarter. Houston 3-and-out. Kansas City, Houston 3-and-out a third time in the half. Kansas City set up at the Houston 48. Butker, 36-yard field goal to tie the game at 10 apiece, late third quarter. After a 3rd and 2 short pass, by the way, hit Kareem Hunt in the face. Houston, another 3-and-out. Then Kansas City, after Rashee Rice was destroyed by Jalen Petre on 1st and 10 at their own 38. 2 plays later, first play, 4th quarter, 3rd and 6 at their own 42. Mahomes picked deep by Kamari Lassiter. Just heaved it downfield, acted like a punt. Houston then tie game from their own 16. Karlaftis sacked Stroud on 2nd down. At that moment, the Texans were staring at 5 straight 3-and-outs and -9 total second half yards. But 3rd and 17 at their own 9, Stroud to Jaden Higgins for 17. They still punt 4 plays later after Jalen Watson sticks Jalen Noel for a 1-yard gain on 3rd and 2. Kansas City now tie game, 4th play, 4th and 1 at their own 31, Kelley. The decision that will live in infamy, which we will talk about after the break. This play, if the Chiefs don't make the playoffs, is where we can all trace not just the game, but to this play call, where the Chiefs decided to go for it, 4th and 1 at their own 31, tie game with 10:22 left, when their defense had just forced 5 straight punts and 4 3-and-outs within those. We'll talk about it next. It's a numbers game at Visa, the Sports Betting Network.
The numbers told the story, they always do. It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 2 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, Sirius XM Channel 158. It's radio's Gill Alexander, everybody. That right there is television's Kelley Bydlon.
That's right.
That's right.
Film reviewer.
Film reviewer.
Wait, when are we going to start doing that podcast?
Who was just regaling us with his review of Frankenstein.
The great documentary that everybody had seen in this entire crew. I finally watched this weekend.
Documentary. Remember last week where Kelley was like, is it a documentary? You didn't enjoy it as much as...
It was okay. It was okay. You set it up well, though.
It was very okay.
It was very long, and like halfway through it, I'm like, at some point, this has got to start getting good because everybody, the whole crew had seen it. This must start getting good.
Yeah. You feel like we're on an email list that you're not a part of, an email thread.
It was that. This has got to get better at some point. And I won't tell the same. I don't want to make any spoilers out there for anybody. Oh boy, it got silly at the end.
Oh man, we have such. It's so funny to me because we barely do fiction anymore because we're so locked into our little lives of betting.
No, that's the difference between me and you. I actually do. I do a fair amount of fiction these days.
All right.
That's why I assumed it was a documentary right off the bat because you don't do much fiction.
Okay, we show that tweet that we had up here. This is just interesting. Josh Dubow of the Associated Press. Last AFC title game without either Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady starting at quarterback was in the 2010 season. After the 2010 season, when Ben Roethlisberger beat Mark Sanchez. Steelers beat the Jets by 5 points, I believe it was. Let me make sure that yes, 24-19. Steelers then went on to lose the Super Bowl to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers won Super Bowl title. But that's the last time. Good God. So 15 years ago, last time we didn't have Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady in an AFC championship. But we'll see. Chiefs not eliminated quite yet. But let's get back to that moment in this game. Oh, let me read a few tweets here before we get to that moment. This is from... I don't want to back him up. That's why I want to read. Nemesis Enforcer. Oh, Nemesis Enforcer. This is one of my favorite subjects ever. If you've listened to this show for as many years as we've been on. Crazy thing, he says, with a likely catch is that if he caught it at the 1 yard line and broke the plane, it's a touchdown. Make it make sense. So glad you bring this up. This has been a thing that I've talked about for many years. And in fact, once at the Sloan Sports Analytics Conference at MIT, the old official Mike Carey, do you remember Mike Carey? Yeah. Mike Carey was an official for so many years, a referee for so many years in the NFL. And then he went to the booth, and remember, he never got anything right in the booth. We had a whole conversation about this very subject because there was a Saints-Skins game years ago where actually, a better example, there was a 2-point conversion, I believe, in the Super Bowl when the Saints were in it against the Colts, where I believe Lance Moore had this happen, right, where he caught the ball and he turned and he crossed the plane, so he was given the touchdown. You're exactly right. I had this conversation with Mike Carey. I was like, this is completely ridiculous, right? That's something on the plane, like there's a magic dust on the plane, but when you're actually in the end zone, you have to establish it in a way that you don't, because if you cross the plane and then you come back and you fumble it, it's still a touchdown. And he says, oh, it makes perfect sense to me. And then as I walked away, Mike Carey grinned at me, which is his way of saying, you're right, but I just can't tell you you're right.
No, that is, I'm glad Nemesis Enforcer tweeted that. Yes. It's a perfect example because 100% that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I guess I thought what happened yesterday was a touchdown too.
Max Trades, official NFL highlights package on YouTube, doesn't even show the Ravens no catch fiasco.
Well, let's not bring up unnecessary things.
Why bring that up on the NFL package? That's right. Why even look at it? T for 3, Tom F. Boys to Men reference caches understood by those of a certain age. LOL. Thank you. I'm glad somebody noticed. This is Scott, New York Mets 16. New York Mets 16. They did show the view of the ref on the line of scrimmage, and the Texans lineman had his hand in the old neutral zone to point. You could not see the football itself. Oh, saying that it was correctly called.
So I didn't rewatch it back enough times, Gill.
And the reason I say that still doesn't hold water is because remember in the Lions game against the Cowboys when Jared Goff thought he had a free play.
Yeah.
It was the same thing, right? The hand waved. It was like no flag.
So I didn't see it on the initial replay, but then I heard that same thing, and I guess I just took it as, okay, I must have missed it.
Ben Handorf had several parlays to close out with Kansas City on the money line, set the middle with Texans at +5. As soon as Kansas City trotted out for the 4th down in their own territory, I knew I was done. Don't set the middle, and Kansas City goes on to win by double digits. I love that gambler's mentality. If I didn't do the middle, of course they go on to win by double digits. We all say that. But let's get back to this point in the game. Okay, so it's 10-10. 10-10. Kansas City with the ball. Their defense, Kansas City's defense, has just dominated Houston for the entire second half. 5 consecutive punts they forced. 4 of those were 3 and outs. Okay? And yet, 4th and 4, now let me get this right, 4th and 1 at their own 31 with 10:22 left, Andy Reid decides to go for it.
Yeah.
Incomplete, intended for Rashee Rice. Now, I know he's won 3 Super Bowls, Kelley. 4 if you count him as an assistant. But even Andy Reid is not above some criticism.
He's got it. He's got it a lot before he started one of those Super Bowls.
That's correct, with time management mainly. But this was just brazen. And so Houston, who couldn't do anything on offense, they had no answers for the heavy pressure. None. They're set up at the Kansas City 31, 6 plays, 31 yards, 322. Dare Ogunbowale in from 5, 17-10 Texans with 6:56 left. And then Kansas City, this time they had to go for it, right? 4th and 4 at their own 41 with 5:31 left. I mean, you had to if you went for it the previous time. Mahomes to Rice, and he drops it. Kansas City would get the ball back over, though. Would get the ball back, though, taking it over at their own 8 with 3:44 left, 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. First down, Kelsey drops it. Second down, right into Kelsey's hands, bobbles it up, picked by Azeez Al-Shaair. And then Houston at the Kansas City 26 with 3:32 left in the fourth quarter. They end up 3rd and 5 at the Kansas City 21 after Kansas City uses their last 2 timeouts, marks for 6, 2-minute warning. And at that point, by the way, this is a little, I'm being a little nitpicky, but not so much. At that point, Houston should have just kneeled on it twice and kicked the Fairbairn field goal. Why risk a fumble?
Yeah.
But they did.
Yep.
It worked out for him. A couple runs. No fumble. Fairbairn 28-yard field goal, 20-10 Houston with 30 seconds left, and that's how it would end. It is the lowest point total, 10. Houston wins at 20-10. The 10 points marks the lowest point total ever at home with Patrick Mahomes under center. And the 6 dropped passes, the most in the Mahomes era. Chiefs were -3 in turnovers. Unbelievable.
I'm almost surprised by that 6 drop number being the most because it feels like we've been talking about it for 3 years now.
That's correct. Remember, there was the 1 year where everybody was dropping passes, but 6 in one game apparently is the most. So
Man, that 4th and 1, like, this is where it's tough because it's if when you bring up what your defense has done, what your Chiefs defense has done, the defense that you're going up against and how good it is. If you remove the name of the quarterback, it's what are you doing punt 100% of the time.
Great point.
I'm going to cut a little bit of slack here to the Chiefs and Andy Reid. Season on the line. You've got to win a game. You've got 1 yard to go with one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. I can't. I'm always going to. I'll allow that. I'm going to allow that if you feel that confident in the guy. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
I'd agree with you, but in the moment, I was like, what is he doing? I can't believe he's going for this. Because of what you just said, because of the fact that it was so, C.J. Stroud and the Texans, what I say in tennis, like when they say in tennis, a player asks questions of the other player and see if they have answers.
Yeah.
The Texans had no answers.
Yep.
None. And that just gave them the slack they needed. And I don't think that's armchair quarterbacking. I think a lot of people in the moment, a lot of people in the moment were like, what are they doing?
I yelled the same thing.
Yeah. That said, Kansas City's hosting the Chargers. Chargers unseen, sight unseen. They play tonight. I still think the Chiefs' defense was so good. The Chiefs at home, I mean, they got to be more than a field goal favorite, right? -3.5, despite all that.
Yeah, we are. I'm just checking openers. I think we opened 5.5-ish in this, and we said anywhere between 4.5 to 5.5 reopened yesterday, back down to 4.5 fours on the board.
So coming my way.
Yeah.
Coming my way.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, 3.5. We're at 4.5.
And again, Chargers play tonight against the Eagles. Huge implications tonight for that ball game, both on the NFC and AFC side, not just for those teams, but teams watching to see the result. Namely for the Eagles, the Cowboys in the NFC East, and for the on the Chargers side, all kinds of wild card implications. And the Chargers still have sights on, I guess, the AFC West as well. What's next?
All right, early window still, big one, Bills at Patriots.
Oh, speaking of a game for a division. So the Bills trail the Patriots by 2, but they still have designs on the AFC's title and the number 1 seed, which right now is inhabited by Denver, by the way, in the AFC. Buffalo in that amazing win over Cincinnati. We almost didn't do it justice with that description. Just an incredible turn of events. where Cincinnati's up 10 points with over 8 minutes left, and Buffalo manages to go up 2 scores before Cincinnati makes it a 1-score game at the end. Josh Allen was 22 of 28 for 251, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 9 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. Kelley, you might be right. In the end, after all is said and done, maybe this is the year the Buffalo Bills get to the Super Bowl.
I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
I can't believe you just said, because I'm going to sit here and say, I can't believe how lucky this team has gotten all year long.
They are, but who do you trust in a playoff game?
Josh Allen.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
But also,
right about.
the snow. What you brought up earlier, like the offense versus defense and snow. Is there anything scarier in football than Josh Allen turning the corner and getting a full head of steam? Like, what are you going to do? What are you supposed to do?
If you grew up on the East Coast, not Florida like you, but if you grew up on the East Coast, there was nothing more fun than playing football in the snow.
Yeah, nothing more fun and nothing worse than trying to tackle that guy.
Except Josh Allen didn't live in your neighborhood.
Right, exactly.
I say Buffalo -3 on the road at New England.
Whew. We are a pick 'em or one on either side of this game.
Give me the billiards. Give them to me. That's a bet.
You're going to push me over the edge, too.
Give me the Bills. Good God.
I don't know that we should rush, Gill.
No, I don't know. I don't know that we should either. Again, has anybody seen the Patriots?
A lot of things are jumping to the Patriots side here.
Fascinating. Coming back on a numbers game, guessing lines, week 15, right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The sharp plays in full effect mode, unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, and alerts directly from the pros. Scan the QR code on your screen for more. Sharpplays.com. Check it out. I am surprised that Buffalo, by the way, Justin D on Twitter says it's pronounced Frankenstein, which is from Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, yeah.
Frankenstein, by the way.
See, this is if someone made a documentary, we'd know this.
Warren on Twitter,
sure there is one.
WP Lifted. He says, love the show. You are living my life. I've been betting since high school. I had an internship at KMEL in the late 80s. I have a broadcasting degree, but got into sales. If VSiN was around back then, my career would have been different. Is Warren single white femaling me right now? What's happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mistake me?
Is it Warren,
we're the same human, Warren. Me and you. Same human. Back to this. I'm shocked at the Patriots. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about, Gill? The Patriots beat the Bills already, and they beat them in Buffalo. Remember, that was a game where the Bills, there was probably a 14-point swing on turnovers in that game. Remember, the Bills were driving inside the red zone, fumbled, and then there was prior to that, the Bills fumbled at like their own 11-yard line and the Patriots got a touchdown on that. So not exactly reflective of what could happen moving forward, I guess is what I'm saying. We're showing a pick 'em. I just bet the Bills -1 where I grabbed them.
We had, what'd you bet?
Bills -1, -106.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have, just looking back to last week, so the look-ahead lines, Bills -1.5 at DraftKings Caesars. Westgate opened at 2.5. Bills favored. And then this has been reopened most places. It was 1 on Buffalo side at Caesars, 1 on the New England side at a couple places. So shop around. If you want to get in, I'll probably be joining you on the Bills.
There you go. I got 2 bets in already then. Bills.
Huge game.
Oh, I mean, massive. Patriots could, I think the Patriots could Patriots win, they clinch the AFC East. If my tiebreaker in my head is correct. They would sweep and they would have a 3-game lead with 3 games left, so they would win the AFC East. If they lose and the Bills win, the AFC East still very much up for grabs. By the way, if they win, also New England's still very much in the running for the number 1 seed. So I bet the Bills already, and I bet the Bengals already, +2.5 against the Ravens. Can't believe they're not a favorite. Next.
Early window still, Commanders at Giants.
Okay, so this is the one I got completely wrong. Of all the rights, I had Jacksonville yesterday. I had the Steelers. Boy, oh boy, Washington. Can this season end already? I think I speak on behalf of all Commodores fans. Please just end. Jaden Daniels playing, and we said on the show last week, I don't know why he's playing. I mean, I get why he's playing. He's a football player. He's getting paid, but I don't want him to play. And I think that was reflective of most Commanders fans. There's no point. Minnesota. 7 plays, 61 yards to start. McCarthy to Josh Oliver from 18 out. 7-0 Minnesota, 11:03 left first quarter. Washington from their own 15. This is when you kind of knew it was done. 2nd and goal at the 1. And for whatever reason, Cliff Kingsbury does not run the ball on 2nd, 3rd, or 4th down. 2nd and goal at the 1. Incomplete, intended for Debo. Minnesota from their own 2. By the way, a lot of this in the play-by-play, right? It's 1st and goal at the 1, 2nd and goal at the 1. And then the other team starts their drive. It's like they start at the 2. What happened? Where'd that yard go? Happens all the time in play-by-play. Minnesota from their own 2, 19 plays. 98 yards. Mason in from 8, 14-0 Vikings. That would be the score at the half. All right, so, getting beat bad, Washington is, but it's not out of hand yet, right? 14-0. Third quarter from their own 23, 4th and 3 at the Minnesota 19. Here's where it does go from bad to worse. 4th and 3 at the Minnesota 19. Again, second drive where they've matriculated all the way down the field. Jaden picked at point-blank range by Andrew Van Ginkel, who made a living doing this in Miami as well. Jaden then gets trucked on the return by Isaiah Rodgers, and what do you know, Kelley? He lands right on his injured left arm.
Yeah.
Never to be seen again. By the way, Dan Quinn says he could have played, but, it's okay. We just decided not to put him back in. Anywho, that led to 17-0. Then Washington, next time they had the ball, this is Marcus Mariota picked by Harrison Smith. That led to a short field, 37 yards, 4 plays. McCarthy to Oliver from 6 out, 24-0. Oh, and then you want more on this year where the Washington Commanders have the most games lost to injury among starters by far in all the NFL. Then Zach Ertz gets carted off with a torn ACL. Seriously, can this season just end? It's ridiculous. I called it a lost season after week 5. We're still playing football? Minnesota will get one more touchdown, 31-0. Ball game. By the way, Minnesota ran out the last 7 minutes and 53 of this clock. This was the quickest game. This game ended. Well, it felt like an hour before some of the other games.
Yeah. I feel like I barely saw any of it because of that.
Oy vey. Anyway, Washington's at the Giants, who are coming off a bye. The 3-10 Skins and the 2-11 Giants. Giants right now are on the clock for the NFL draft in 2026 with the Titans win.
Oh, my God.
I said Giants minus 1.5.
Giants are favored. We are out to 2.5 right now.
Yeah. This, unlike the Bengals-Ravens, this is the proper favorite.
Yeah.
Next.
I mean, there's no way Jaden Daniels plays next week, right?
I don't know. I mean, Dan Quinn's already said, well, he could have come back in. Please don't play him. Just stop.
Okay, why would you say that? Just like we're going to get to with college football discussions, leave yourself an out. Leave yourself an easy out. We'll have to reevaluate him. Something like that.
I don't know.
All right, next up, we've got Raiders at Eagles.
All right, Eagles play tonight against the Chargers, as we know. 2-point road favorites now, down to 2 at the Chargers tonight. Okay, 2-11 Raiders at the Eagles. Let's talk about the Raiders. Denver. It's all these Denver drives. 14 plays, 81 yards. Nick's in from 8 out, 7-0 Denver. 14 plays, 81 yards, Kelley. Las Vegas would answer. 10 plays, 70 yards. Geno to Bowers from 15 out. Man, is he good. 7-7 end of the first quarter. All right. Then Las Vegas would punt their subsequent drive from their own 6. Marvin Mims Jr. takes the A.J. Cole punt 48 yards to the house after looking like he was completely bottled up. 14-7 Broncos. That would be the score at the half. Denver's first drive of the second half. By the way, that 14-play, 81-yard drive was the longest this season for the Broncos. And they say to themselves, hold my beer. First drive, second half. 14 plays, 91 yards. That took 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Harvey in from 3, 21-7 Broncos with 4:05 left in the third quarter. Then Las Vegas, Geno matriculated down the field, including a 4th and 2 conversion at the Denver 39 to Jack Besh for 17. But then he had to leave. Geno did with a hand and shoulder injury at the end of the third quarter. So Kenny Pickett comes in. 4th and goal to 5, incomplete, intended for Bowers. Then Denver from their own 5. It's like Denver was just trying to set records for themselves. 18 plays. This time they didn't get it in the end zone. Lutz, 23-yard field goal, 24-7 Denver with 3:56 left. And then Las Vegas, because if you're a Denver backer now, you're feeling good, right? 3:56 left, you're up 17. No problem. What was the spread, like 8.5 in this one? Yeah. Las Vegas then goes 65 yards, pick it to Shedrick Jackson, who we learn is Bo Jackson's great nephew. I did not know that. From 25 out, 24-14 Broncos with 2:17 left. Now, if you're a Broncos backer, you're still feeling good, right? Because there's an onside kick coming, and that never works, and it didn't. So even with Las Vegas having all 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning, Denver turns it over on downs. So Las Vegas ends up with the ball with 58 seconds left, no timeouts from their own 28. The play leading into this field goal is a flag thrown for delay of game on the defense. So the clock stops, ball moves forward 5 yards, and with 5 seconds left, Pete Carroll says to himself, you know, the only real possible way to win this game, and yes, it would have been more preferable if there were 10 seconds left, but the only possible way is we kick a field goal, let's say it takes 2 seconds off the clock, then we get an onside kick recovery, let's say that takes 2 seconds off the clock, and then we get a Hail Mary with 1 second left, right? That's probably what's going on in his head. And sure enough, Daniel Carlson drills a 46-yarder. Ball game, all 5 seconds go off the clock. 24-17 Denver. It is the correct football play for the Raiders, but the Raiders backers get the money with a cover, and the Broncos backers, horrible bad beat. Absolutely right, it is a bad beat. Given where you were, given that Pete Carroll actually did decide to kick the field goal. But he was making the correct football play, as all Madden players, anybody who's ever played Madden, has executed themselves.
Yeah.
And all these, did you see Dave Portnoy?
No.
Oh, Dave Portnoy wants Pete Carroll to go to jail, wants the Raiders to go to jail.
So the one I'm not understanding this morning, Danny, our great producer, calling this out too beforehand. You kick that field goal there, it almost always is going to take off 5 seconds off the clock. Anyways,
from that deep.
But but from that far away.
Yeah.
Whatever. Everybody was mad at Pete Carroll. You're mad at the wrong guy. The Broncos guy getting a clear delay of game penalty when the Raiders were just going to run out the clock.
100%.
That's who you should be mad with.
Yep. That said, Philadelphia minus, 10.5. It's the Raiders after all.
The penalty was so dumb that I can't feel bad for the backers. Okay. Failed.
Philadelphia minus 10.5. Yes.
It is.
He's got one job.
12.5.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
ProfitX offering you a 20% purchase match up to $100 when you sign up. ProfitX, the #1 sports prediction market in 40-plus states, where you can trade main lines, player props, parlays, even request your own odds and bet yes, no on touchdown scorers and more. And this holiday season, be on the lookout for the 7 days of Profit Xmas giveaway. Let me say that again. The 7 days of Profit Xmas
I like that.
giveaway. See what they did?
Yeah.
With special prizes all week long. Download Profit X now and use promo code VSIN to get started. Profit Xmas. See what they did. This is on Twitter. We get tweets of beating the book. Thank you. Still tripping off Warren. Living my life. Be living his life. Real uniform czar. DraftKings had Miami to win the college football playoffs at 100-1. And they were plus 140 to make 5 minutes before the announcement. Was I correct that 100-1 was way too high? Well, yes, you were at that point. Absolutely. Seems like one of those markets lagged the other. But by the way, plus 140 to make 5 minutes before the announcement. I don't know where you saw that, because I will tell you, and I'll get into this because I want to talk about the college football process and all that from yesterday. But Miami got as low as 7% to make the playoff right before the announcement yesterday.
Wow.
Yep. As low as 7%. Las Vegas 514. Skins fan. He goes, yo, you know where the phrase comes from? Put a fork in them? That's us. We're done. Sheesh. Oh, yeah, we are. K-Flow Lorenz 1, who provides us with a lot of availability stats in Survivor, Circus Survivor. And by the way, let me say this from earlier, because I think it was misconstrued what I said earlier. I said they're going to begin to talk chop, right? Begin to talk chop. I'm not suggesting that chop will happen this week, but they're going to begin to have those discussions now that we're down to 11. K-Flow, not sure you caught this yesterday. Oh, this is good. Greg Olson said that the Bills should go for the touchdown on 4th down with 3:09 remaining to make it a 2-score game because there may not be enough time for Joe Burrow to get 2 possessions in the waning moments, which made perfect sense. Remember, 3:09 left, going for it on 4th to go up 2 scores, which they did. Yet he passionately argued the Eagles go for 2 down 9 on Black Friday as the right analytics play to know what you need to win with 3:10 remaining. Unless 1 second is the tiebreaker between getting or not getting 2 possessions, it's the perfect example why there's nuance to these decisions. There's always nuance. And then Warren talking to me about the old KML days. Appreciate the kind words, Warren. Thank you. He says he used to work for Kevin Weatherly back then. Oh, yeah, familiar names. He says, your show is the best. Thank you so much, Warren. Okay.
We did get Danny passed this along a tweet too from Last Man Standing. Them saying this morning that extremely unlikely we see any sort of chop or save in Circa Survivor before next week. I've spoken to 2 different owners who are not interested at this point.
There you go. Yeah. Down to 11. Could be 10 after tonight if the Eagles lose. Each remaining entry worth over $1.7 million currently. But I was correct. The talk chop at least has been started. At least by Tony Farmer.
Just takes one, right?
I didn't say it would happen. Yeah. I said the talk will start. Jeremiah Crow pointing out also that the Carlson kick, Jeremiah, our buddy from the Win Studio, who runs the Win Studio so adeptly with Brian, with John Goulet over there, where we do the Megapod
Great
from.
Stuff over there.
He says the Carlson kick also put the total over 40.5 as well in that game. Yeah. He says he thinks it's one of the worst beats of all time. Makes me want to truly give it up. And he didn't have a penny on it, he said, but truly unbelievable watching it live. I'm not as amazing. Was it a bad beat? Yeah. It's not like one of the worst of all time. It's not even close. Yeah. Cardinals knocking those of us out of Survivor is still the worst beat of all time, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's not, but no, it's the correct football play.
I just think everybody's mad at the wrong person.
Everybody's
mad at Pete Carroll.
Dave Portnoy wants to put the wrong people in jail. It's not that anyone should go to jail, but he even can't figure out who we should put in jail.
Who made the tackle? Did you ever read down? I don't even know who made that tackle. The delay of game. That's the problem. The Raiders are ready for this game to be over. You got to delay a game, and then it's okay. I have a stopped clock. What am I supposed to do here with 5 seconds left?
I'm usually better than that. I usually have the name of that player.
Yeah, sorry, I put you on the spot.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
It's just that's the whatever. There's the rigged scripted comments. I feel like 60% of the time they're always mad at the wrong person.
This article also
whatever. We just want the Raiders to take a knee after that.
It was a pass to Tyler Lockett, and then what? Dude grabbed the ball.
No, he wouldn't let him get up, right? It was kind of that. It was just shoving him down afterwards.
Yeah. You know what this article says? I was looking for his name. It says, the Broncos defender. Thanks. You even wrote an article and couldn't be bothered to find out which defender it was.
It's clear and obvious delay of game by the defensive player.
Absolutely. All right, what's next?
Early window still. Jets and Jags. Right, bye weeks are over.
Bye weeks are over. This is it. 4-game sprint to the regular season finish line. Who'd you say? What game?
Jets and Jags.
Jets and Dolphins. How much of this game did you see? Jets, Dolphins.
Oh, about as much as the Commanders, Vikings.
Yeah, this was also that way. Jets lose to the Dolphins. This was a blowout. Dolphins, 4 plays, 64 yards. Jalen Waddle for 21. Achane for 39. Tua to Waddle from 3 out. 7-0, just over 2 minutes in. Next time Miami had the ball. 5 plays, 80 yards. Tua to Waddle for 24. Sets up Achane from 13. 14-0 Dolphins. Then the Jets, 3rd and 4th, their own 26. Tyrod picked by Tyrell Dodson. Miami set up at the Jets 29. 6 plays, Jalen right in from 2 out, 21-0 Dolphins. And then guess what? Tyrod was injured. Brady Cook in. Tyrod had a groin injury. Brady Cook is in. And the Jets, what do we say with a DVOA? Aaron Schatz is DVOA. What do the Jets do well?
Special teams.
5th best special teams in the DVOA era. Well, Isaiah Williams said, I like that. Took the ensuing punt. And on Miami's next drive, the first drive they didn't score a touchdown on, 78 yards to the house, 21-7 Dolphins. And then Miami would then lose Achane with a rib injury along the way. They get it to 24-7 before the end of the half, and the Jets would matriculate, but 3rd and 13 at the Miami 19, Cook picked by Rasul Douglas at the goal line. Anyway, that's the score at the half, 24-7. You don't need to know much more other than it ended 34-10 Dolphins. Yeah. And then there's the Jaguars, which I was all over again. This was one of these against the Colts where I'm like, why are the Colts a road favorite? Why? Now, of course, what happened sort of nullifies that reasoning because Indianapolis's first play from scrimmage after Jacksonville had to punt on the first drive. 1st and 10, their own 20. Daniel Jones picked by Devin Lloyd. Jacksonville set up at the Indianapolis 21. 4 plays. Etienne in from 3, 7-0 Jaguars. I know it's Jaguars, but I'm just doing it to make fun of you people who pronounce it Jaguars. Indianapolis, an 11 plays, 76 yards. JT in from 1. Jonathan Taylor, 7-7, 4:32 left first quarter. Jacksonville responds, 5 plays, 74 yards. Trevor to Thomas Jr. for 39, the big one. 2 plays later, Trevor to Jacob Myers from 14 out. 14-7 Jaguars, 2:27 left first quarter. And then it happens. Indianapolis, 2nd and 13 at their own 37, down 14-7. Jones to Josh Downs for 5 yards. Looks like an innocuous play. Jones goes down. Slams his helmet down. Clearly Achilles. Now, I was immediately asked by everyone on Twitter, is that an Achilles? Did the fibula have anything to do with it? I actually think it might have. Can't prove it. Think it might have. When you have an injury in one leg, you tend to overcompensate in the other. Mm-hmm. We can't measure it. But did the fibula help? Certainly not. Again, he has a broken fibula in his other foot. Achilles rupture, immediate surgery for Daniel Jones out for the season. And the Colts season, which started out as a dream season, is just barreling into a nightmare. This team ain't making the playoffs. Riley Leonard in. Indianapolis, couple drives, next drive after they had to punt on that one. 2nd and 4th, their own 25. Taylor trying to extend the play, hit by Devon Hamilton. Fumbles recovered by Jerry Jones. Jacksonville set up at the Indianapolis 28. 1 play, Etienne to the house, 21-7. Jacksonville, early second quarter, 21-10. And then Jacksonville late in the first half from their own 45 with 1:45 left in the quarter. Trevor to Patrick for 37 on 3rd and 15 at their own 49 plays later to Tim Patrick from 8 out, 3rd and goal, touchdown 28-10. Jaguars at the half. They would trade field goals to make it 31-13. Then there would be a sack of Riley Leonard in the end zone by Josh Hines Allen. Doesn't want to be known as Josh Allen for, obvious reasons.
Like Michael B. Jordan.
That's correct. Exactly like Michael B. Jordan. In case we couldn't tell the two apart. 33-13 Jacksonville. It would end 36-19. The Jaguars are atop the AFC North. That was the game for the lead in the AFC North. And now it's looking like AFC South. Kelley corrected my North with East. AFC South. Man. I think it's the AFC Central. I believe I'm not mistaken.
They're on top of every division in the AFC. It's very impressive.
That's one of the greater moments ever. You're like, it's not. It's clearly not North, Gill. It's the East. No, it's not that either. So Jaguars right now with the Texans looking like the teams atop the AFC South now moving forward, while the Colts are dealing with, boy, what a sea. And now it's no Daniel Jones. Not that Daniel Jones was the primary reason for their success, but he certainly was.
He was big.
A better version of himself than he's ever been. It's too bad. Jaguars, I'll say 10.5 point favorites hosting the Jets.
11.5. 11.5 to 12.5. DK with a 12.5.
That makes sense. All right. 2 bets so far. Looking for more. And we got to talk college football as well, which I'll do at the top of the hour. Adam Burke joining us a little later on as well. We'll do all that. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. Kelley Bydlon, producer number 9. So much more than a producer.
What's up?
We get tweets beating the book. This is Joey Kiska. What do you think of the Heisman race? Grab Pavia Sunday at 14-1. Just don't see how Mendoza jumped that far ahead after the game when they were pretty much even before the game. I have said from the beginning, I believe that if Indiana beat, right? I believe that I said it many times, that if Indiana beat Ohio State, you cannot not give it to Mendoza as the quarterback of undefeated number 1 Indiana. It's voters, though. You never know. But right now, the market reflects my opinion on it. Minus 2,500 on Fernando Mendoza.
Wow.
Yep.
I had not seen those this morning. Okay.
How can you not give it to? By the way, Joe Pete 150-1 on Mendoza. 150-1.
Let's go, Joe.
Jonathan Call. I partially agree, but think. Talking about the Raiders. Yeah, Jonathan, you're saying what I said earlier, which is I partially agree, but think with just 5 seconds left, you have passed the point where you can actually make 2 scores. If there was 10 seconds left, absolutely the right move. With only 5 seconds left, it looks more nefarious. I said the exact same thing earlier, Jonathan, in case you were not listening, which is, yes, with 10 seconds left, it's unassailable. With 5 seconds left, Carroll's thinking still had to be, I don't know, maybe if this field goal takes 2 seconds and the onside kick takes 2 seconds, then we'll have a Hail Mary with 1 if we recover it. You're absolutely right, but we talked about that earlier as well. And Keith Kadakia, Texans fan here, on that neutral zone call, a Texan had a hand in the neutral zone, but a Chief helmet was in it as well. Should have been offsetting. Collinsworth noted it and then proceeded to continue his immense glazing of Patrick Mahomes. That's great. I love that word. Money Gun Guz. Speaking about the Denver game, I also feel that Denver could have kicked a field goal to go up 13, but they decided to run. On a side note, the Raiders were a big swing for circa millions players in the top 30, as even the leader had the Raiders. Oh, boy. Brian Young, a Notorious Guns. You're spot on when it comes to the Colts season. From dream season to complete disaster, as they traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Yes, to go all in this season, just not to make the playoffs. Keep up the great work, gents. Thank you, Brian. And you're 100% right. Just went all in for Sauce. Oh.
Hey, man.
What is brutal? It's brutal.
There's maybe one more. I shouldn't be. I'm not trying to be mean to you Colts fans, but I've been looking for, Anthony Richardson. IR, but he's not been ruled out for the season.
Can I just I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes, we've all forgotten.
Remember Anthony Richardson? This was 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He had his orbital bone hit by one of those bands working out. And I remember at the time saying, like, he's lucky he could have lost an eye. Right? Like, what did your parents say to you when you're a kid? 2 months? I hope he's okay. Like, that was a way more serious injury than they were letting on, I think.
Yeah, there was I mean, they had to get put on IR for an orbital bone fracture, and it's apparently he is still not.
He could have totally lost.
They have not closed the door on him coming back, but he's also not ready, and apparently it is still some of his vision being affected by this.
3JackH3131. Quick flip to the NBA. Any thoughts on Cade Cunningham for MVP at 50-1 if the Pistons win the East? I love questions like this, but it's like, have you seen Jokic playing this year? What do you think? 50-1?
I mean, I grabbed a bit of him at 100-1 earlier in the season, so I think I would be a phony if I sat here and told you it's a terrible bet. But yeah, if you think they're going to win the Eastern Conference, he's going to be way shorter than that. I
gotta get my Denny Avdia.
It's a crappy answer, but
I gotta get my Denny Avdia most improved just so I can have some action on it, even at like 2-1.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
He's awesome.
What did I say? How many times have I brought him up? Y'all thought I was just joking, playing for my team.
The problem is with him, it's going to be interesting to see how he's viewed just because of how good he was down the stretch of last season when they were like running everything through him.
Have you seen his numbers at age 26 versus LeBron's at age 26?
No, I have not.
Do a blind resume. You will not be able to tell the difference. Brian Schaefer, 31. Mendoza should not get the Heisman after that speech. Did you see that he was awkwardly looking into the camera with a ridiculous speech after that win on Saturday? Brian, this is not the first time that Fernando Mendoza has given a noteworthy post-game speech. He did it earlier in the year on a huge Indiana win. And then when Cal, I think, beat Stanford, was it when they beat Stanford, when they got bowl eligibility last year? He also gave this unbelievably Mendoza-like speech. He's a character, that guy.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Oh,
is it going to make me laugh? Am I going to like him more or less, Gill? The way you know about me and Fernando Mendoza.
The way that I know you and the way that I know Fernando Mendoza.
Am I going to like him better or worse?
You'll like him less.
Oh, man.
He's a wonderful kid.
All right.
Apparently, according to Joe Pita, his mom's burritos are the best thing ever.
That was quite a story. I forgot about that.
Best burrito he's ever had, he said. And that's saying something because in the Mission in San Francisco, that's sort of known as the greatest place for burritos. But apparently, when he was at Berkeley, Mrs. Mendoza had the best burritos. No longer there. All right, what's next?
Early window still. Cardinals at Texans.
Does that say more? Does that say more about my impression of you or the way that you are naturally?
I don't know. I gotta see the clip.
That you would hate Mendoza more after he's just trying to like pour out his heart.
I believe you.
He's a wonderful kid.
I believe you've got a spot on read probably.
The best part of this show so far is me saying AFC North and you've been like East.
I was trying to find Anthony Richardson details.
You couldn't wait to correct me. Arizona at Houston. Cardinals, this is another game where it was like, did you watch much of this? was interesting early. Arizona against the Rams. Arizona 5 plays 67 yards, all but 3 through the air. Brissett to Wilson from 19 out. Michael Wilson has become quietly a really good player. 7-0 Cardinals.
I mean, everybody else is injured, but yes.
Yes, 3 minutes in. Well, there's that.
Good. He is good, though.
I guess I could say the same about Brissett then, too, right?
Right.
Wow, that Jacoby Brissett has really played well. 7-0 Arizona. It would be 7-3. And then the Rams would go 6 plays, 74 yards. Stafford to Puka Nacua. What a game for Puka. For 18 and 32 back-to-back plays. 3 plays later, Corum in from 2 out, 10-7 Rams. It would get to 10-10. And that's when the competitive portion of this game ended. Rams, 10 plays, 65 yards. Stafford to Nacua for 20. 2 plays later, Kyron in from 2, 17-10 Rams. Then the next time the Rams got the ball, 7 plays, 92 yards from their own 8 with 1:42 left in the quarter. Nacua for 28 was a huge play along the way, and then to Nacua for 28 for the score, 24-10. And every time Puka scored or got a big catch, they would put the audio on the field, and Nacua would scream gutturally, loud and clear. I don't know what that means. I'm just telling you it was weird that that's the only person we ever hear consistently screaming that way from audio. 24-10 at the half. First time the Rams get the ball in the third quarter. 74 yards. Stafford to Parkinson from 6 out. 31-10. Later, Arizona, Brissett would get picked by Nate Landman. That would give the Rams another short field at the Arizona 31. 1 play, Stafford to Nacua, touchdown, 38-10. And then the next time the Rams would get the ball, 1 play, Corum in from 48, 45-10. It would end 45-17. Puka, 7 for 167 and 2 tutties. Corum, 12 for 128 and 2 tutties. Rams, the best team in the NFL, man.
I do like how the just what you bet on, decides so much of this stuff. Where I barely watched that Raiders Broncos game. I watched almost the entirety.
Oh, you
of this.
did?
I was loaded up on the Rams. Yeah,
Oh, good for you. It really does come down to your bets. Arizona, but this has nothing to do with the Rams right now. Arizona's at Houston. Houston coming off that win over the Chiefs, as we talked about earlier. So it's the 3-10 Cardinals at the 8-5 Texans, who feel not only live for the AFC South,
let's go,
but also kind of feel live for the AFC in a conference where
man,
throw them all up in the air, right?
Yep.
Houston by 7 is the guess.
Yeah, the opener on this was 7.5. Gill, I was like, I should tease this, but I don't. Got to wait till tonight's game, see what happens, just in case anybody gets injured. Well, reopens 9.5, 10.
Oh, okay. Houston going for their 6th straight win. Want to squeeze one more in here?
They've been looking good. My AFC South tickets back from the dead from preseason. Packers at Broncos, 4:25 Eastern. No 4:05 Eastern starts this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little weird. We've got 5 4:25 starts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's full allotment of games. 9 3-1 Packers now atop the NFC North. By the way, the Bears fell from the number 1 seed to the number 7 seed with that loss to the Packers. Packers 9 3-1 at the 11-2 current number 1 seed Broncos in the AFC. I'm sorry, I've seen enough of this Broncos act of them winning really close games against bad teams. I say Packers -3.
Yeah, it's Packers anywhere 1.5 to 2.5. I'm in on the Pack.
Yeah, I'm in on the Pack too. It's less than 3.
It's less than 3, man.
Give me the Packers. I'm betting that right
one
now.
Of the that's one of 2 bets that we haven't got to the other one.
Betting that too.
I don't love the card this week, to be honest.
I've already got 3 bets.
You've got 3 though. Yeah, you've got 3.
I must like it to some degree.
I don't know how many weeks we've had where you've had more than me on a Monday, and I think that's gonna be the case.
Yeah, -1.5, -115. Just made it right there. Coming back, college football. We got a whole bunch more games to get to. A whole bunch more games to get to in the NFL. And I got a rant about college football. Next, on a numbers game right here at Visa.
The numbers told the story, they always do. It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. We appreciate you taking us in any which way among that group, maybe multiple ways. Gill Alexander, that's Kelley Bydlon right here. This hour is sponsored by Better, by the way. Better Picks is the daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash and fast. Download Better or visit better.app now. That's BETR. BETR.app now. Sign up today. Get a free $10. No deposit necessary. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Y'all are the best.
And if you're watching at home, there's a little QR code there for you for the
That's
Better
right.
app. And
Yeah.
Larry and Danny are going to leave it up for the next 2 minutes and 42 seconds to allow you to scramble to try to scan it. Okay?
Really? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Just wanted to give everybody an exact time.
Tom F. T for 3. Mendoza's interview screams Kirk Cousins clone. There's even a resemblance.
Got to look it up.
Billy Charlebois. I find it odd when people get so excited about finding great value on futures when there's one obvious winner. It's not what they have. It makes no sense. It's like being excited about getting the Washington Generals at 500-1. I agree with you. There is a little too much of that. There's definitely a little too much of that. Jason Smith made the final 18 in a 1,700 entry survivor pool for 34,000. I think here's what he wrote. 34 comma and then 4 zeros. So I don't know. Is that 34,000 or 340,000?
I'm going to go with 34,000.
I think so, too. He said, I have the Eagles, Texans, Cowboys, Jaguars, Bears, Bucks, Bengals still available, to name a few. Never made it this far. What's my optimal strategy moving forward? Jason, you've made it this far on your own. I am not going to chime in. Not going to chime in. Our Survivor segment is tomorrow. I will leave it at that, Jason. I will not leave you hanging. We will do our full Survivor segment with all the possibilities tomorrow, and hopefully you can glean some good information from that will lead you to some more survival. And good for you, by the way. Good luck. Hope you win the pot. Okay, before we move on to some of the other NFL games, pardon me, and before we move on to Adam Burke, we will get to a whole bunch more of NFL games because it's full slate, no buys, so we got a bunch more to get to. College football yesterday, the day began even before the NFL kicked off with the college football playoff selection show, if you will. And all last week, I sat here on this show and I said, the way that the penultimate rankings were issued, it felt to me like they were setting it up for Notre Dame to be bounced under any circumstance. And what I meant by that, and I explained it very well, very detailed, I should say. I don't know if it was very well. That'd be up to you.
Yeah.
But very detailed.
Okay.
Was that the only thing separating Notre Dame and Miami after last week's rankings was BYU. And BYU, based on the result with Texas Tech, was going to get ejected. And so Notre Dame and Miami would abut with each other, right? And at that point, the committee would have no choice but to go with the head-to-head. And that is, in fact, what happened. Miami makes the playoff. Notre Dame gets bounced. Miami got as low as 7% yes on Kalshi yesterday. So it was like fait accompli. People thought Miami was donezo and that it was going to be Bama and Notre Dame. And, there's a lot of people, they're outraged by this, but I just want to say, as the guy who calls college football, it's an exhibition more than it is a sport. Like, you cannot tell me it's a sport as we know other sports to be, where it's a meritocracy. You can't tell me that. Witness FSU 2 years ago. It's like we don't apply those same rules to any other sport. Oh, Patrick Mahomes gets hurt the day before the playoffs. Well, the Chiefs can't participate, right? It's Meshuggah, but we've absolutely been brainwashed into thinking certain things are true and certain things are untrue. And it's just a ridiculous system. But I will also be the guy to say that if they had bounced Miami and kept Notre Dame, then it truly would have taken my this is an exhibition, not a sport argument into the stratosphere on steroids. Games have to matter. In every sport we follow here in North America, and really probably worldwide, but certainly in North America, head-to-head is the first tiebreaker on everything. Everything. Games have to matter. If games don't matter, then what are we even doing? It's just a 3-month exhibition, and then they just get to invite whoever they want. Right? So they absolutely, given an imperfect, listen, I'm not saying it's anywhere close to perfect, given a completely imperfect process, they made about as right of a choice yesterday, in my opinion, as they could have possibly. About as right. The issue with this stuff to me is, and by the way, there's all kinds of inconsistencies still, right? This notion that you're not supposed to be penalized if you make a championship game, if you're good enough to make a championship game in your respective conference.
Yep.
Your result in that conference championship is not supposed to hurt you. So, look, Bama lost by 21 to Georgia. They didn't get penalized. BYU got crushed by Texas Tech. They did get penalized. Complete inherent inconsistency, completely sniffing of corruption, right? Favoritism. There's nobody in the room to speak on behalf of BYU like there is for Alabama. So college football remains this ridiculous thing where they just decide whatever they want based on a word salad. And this is the problem. Kirk Herbstreit all week long was talking about, we got to get rid of that Thursday show. I think he's right, but not for the reasons he was stating. The reason that the Tuesday show, pardon me, not the Thursday show, but the Tuesday show every week, the 5 weeks leading up to the sixth and final announcement is so problematic is when I was a kid, and even when I was not a kid as an adult, right? But as a kid, the AP poll would just tell you who the champion is at the end. And you would be able to follow the poll throughout the year. But there was never any human being to explain why teams were exactly where they were. When Alabama won the championship in 1978 over USC, no one had to speak as to why that happened, right? And there's many examples of that through the years. Here we get a real-time, week-by-week word salad from the head of the committee every week because they are forced to answer questions. And there is no possible way for them to have a cogent, consistent line of thinking for 6 straight weeks. It's impossible. It's an impossible job. So when we get to a point like this, for those of us in this business where we're betting on it, and I hope everybody cashed along, I hit plus 451 on Miami at Calci to make the playoff. I hope everybody followed. We're in the business of reading the tea leaves and trying to get ahead of what's about to happen, right? So I said last week, and then Will was in agreement. Chris Felica was in agreement as the week went on. We were all on board, never having talked to each other about this, but independently came to the conclusion they're setting it up for Notre Dame to be bounced, and I gave the reason why. What the folks on mainstream media are having a difficulty with is they're so literal from week to week. They take those explanations each and every week and view them as the gospel, and then they can't wrap their brain around how this then manifests at the end. And I get it on the one hand. On the other hand, I don't get it because, again, you're making these people say something every week to justify the order. There's no possible scenario in college football where you can say the same consistent thing for 6 straight weeks. You can't.
I think it's,
you can't do it.
I think all that was very well said, Gill. Very well said. I think a couple things that I took away from it is I've brought myself up as an example the past couple years, and it's you're going to hit a problem when you start expanding, that when a casual college football fan like myself sees what this becomes at the end, it's you take away any meaning from the regular season. It's why do I care about what's going to happen here? Just tell me who's in the playoff at the end. I'll start caring then. At least with the Miami getting in yesterday, there's this hey, that at least mattered when they played. Yeah. That at least mattered. So I think that statement was important for casual fans out there like myself for this stuff, but it's still, all I can do is laugh every year, man. It's a disaster.
Well, and I also said last week, it's one of these functions, we see it in college basketball, right? When it was, I guess before I even knew what college basketball was, they only let 24 teams in. Mm-hmm. So if you're the 25th, you were bounced out. I have no idea what the discourse was that on TV. I remember 48 teams, right? There was an argument over the 49th. Then I remember 64. Now we have 68. We argue very briefly, right? But a very short amount of time over team 69. College football is going to have to expand. It's going to have to expand because the more it expands, the more muted these debates are going to be, right? The argument over team 69 in college basketball lasts a minute and a half. But team 13 in college football is going to last a long time, day after day after day, till they actually play the games. And again, BYU, I understand why they'd be pissed. I really do. Because they were not handled in the same way. Listen, I'm not saying they're as good as Alabama. I'm not making that argument. What I'm saying is you can't apply one rule to one team and not to the other in terms of getting beaten a conference championship.
I think it's interesting what you're saying, too, because I don't think many people are thinking this way. But basically what you just said is we're better off not knowing what's going through those people's heads until what? Maybe that second to last. And the one thing I can tell you I've learned from the past few years is that second to last rankings, they've done everything they can to give themselves as many outs as possible.
They telegraph the pass.
However they want to go. Yep. And I'm not saying that was directly that they were always going to put Miami in, but it was, well, let's move Notre Dame back a spot so we have that out. We have that out if we want to use it.
And they also simultaneously gave them cushion for Bama by moving them up last week, right?
But like to your point, yes, we're better off if we're all getting so angry about this. We're better off not having every other one of those shows for every week beforehand, and then believing anything that they say or taking it as truth going forward.
Well, it's also anything in life. If it's a binary choice, right? If it's this or that, you can explain things logically. If there's like 20 different teams involved, right? It's going to be impossible to keep a cogent, logical line of thinking. And by the way, the Tulane James Madison crowd, those people who are saying, again, as we said earlier, those two teams don't deserve to be in it. Yeah, but in that case, it's the rules established, the very few rules we do have established, which is 5 best conference champs. Duke, obviously, with 5 losses. Sorry, you're just not getting in. So the ACC, in terms of the champion of that conference, gets bounced entirely. Therefore, we have the 2 G5s in Tulane and James Madison. And yeah, none of us think they have a chance in hell, but them's the rules. So in that case, you can't really argue in that specific category.
A&M Miami looks fun, though.
Yeah. Hey, man. When I will tell you this, when it got to 7% at Cal Sheet, when the Miami logo flashed up on the screen, for a split second, I thought to myself, did the guy backstage who got these to input into the bracket, did he make a mistake for a second? Or are we completely right? And as it turns out, we were completely right.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you missed it the first time, good news. We're giving you one last chance to score an unforgettable Vegas weekend at Circa Resort and Casino. Right now, the first 100 new VSiN Pro annual subscribers who sign up using promo code CIRCA will receive a free 3-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino, January 2nd through the 5th, plus a day bet at Stadium Swim during the final weekend of the NFL regular season. You also save 50% off the monthly price and get a full year of VSiN Pro, daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered prop tools, 24/7 video, and every betting guide from the college football playoff through next year's NFL. It's your last shot at the Circa getaway, though, so don't wait. Lock in your spot now, VSiN.com/Circa. Use promo code CIRCA. That's VSIN.com/CIRCA. Skill Alexander, we get tweets, beating the book. Y'all are the best. Torch D, the one who put the satin in your panties. They're purposely making replay assist look bad. They don't like technology. Somebody made a call. That's right. Walk us through that. They made a call. How do you think the making of the call went on the for those who claim a fix in the Raiders Broncos? How do you think that call went? Walk me through that.
It was Brandon Jones, right, Danny?
Brandon Jones.
I keep screwing up his name.
Defender.
Brandon Jones on the possession before, when he was on the sideline,
right,
waved over a team intern that said, "I need you to text this number. My buddy Carl's going to pick up. Tell Carl this, and this. He'll know what that means."
Yeah.
And that's when he's going to go put the live bet in, and then I'm going to purposely delay.
Right.
Delay a game penalty, and then boom, 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 we're going to lose exactly.
That'll induce that old man Pete Carroll to kick a field goal. That's what's going to happen.
Or even crazier, he did this before the game, when really he got that pregame spread to get to matter.
That all checks out. Troy Beal at Bealmeister says, what about a play-in game for the first 2 out? Notre Dame would play BYU the night of the Army-Navy game. Thanks, great show. That would be cool. But apparently Notre Dame has already told us that they're too good for the Pop-Tarts Bowl against BYU.
I like the idea of the first 4 that we have in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, I like the idea of that.
Jack Olaquire, Gill, do your commies want Sweat back from the Bears? 3rd and 8, he misses a tackle on Jacobs for no gain. Jacobs ends up getting the first down. If he tackles him, they kick a field goal instead of getting the winning touchdown. He's way overrated and overpaid. Talking about Montez Sweat, who Washington let go a couple years ago when we were back at the D. That's how I remember things. We were at the D, or we were not at the D. Washington felt, Adam Peters felt that Montez Sweat, the salary that he would garner, was not worth his level of talent. That's why they let him go. It's not a bad player, just not worth that money. John G., Angry Johnny 1. Adam Burke made the correct point. Notre Dame needs to be in a conference. If they were in the ACC, they would have been in the championship game. And one more point, are we all overvaluing the Notre Dame brand? Oh, it's all brands in college football. This is why I say it's an exhibition. It's all about brands. I'm trying to think like of an equivalent. If there was a fashion tournament and a selection committee had to choose 12, they would bend over backwards trying to figure out a way for, I don't know, Cartier, and you pick another one. I don't know. What's another luxury brand? Chanel,
Hugo Boss,
right? Like if they lost 3 games, we got to bend over backwards to figure out a way to put them in.
It's what's. It just feels
ridiculous.
It feels like this is maybe one of the first time, if not the first time, that's coming back to really bite them.
Yes.
And I'm not.
But this was always an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. I don't want to say they should or should not be punished for that stuff, but you know what? Yeah, when everybody else plays in a conference and you get to create your own schedule every single year, it's a little different.
Ace DiCardano. Nobody wants to see James Madison, quote unquote, is the worst take I've ever heard on VSiN. Getting the opportunity against people who once said you're not good enough is the beauty of sports. I think everybody agrees with you in terms of the sort of macro view of that, Ace. I think obviously what they're talking about, and I think that's what they're talking about is, yeah, but they just don't want to see them get blown off the field, which you could argue is actually showing respect to those kids for not wanting them to get blown off the field. Dan Goodwin, sitting on several of these from September, I have Georgia at 10-1 and some Texas Tech at 15-1. But if IU pulls it off, my biggest score in 30 years of wagering, he's got Indiana at 40-1. Good for you, Dan Goodwin. Let's go.
Those some good tickets.
Montreal Max, Notre Dame AD made good points this morning that the NFL-bound players would have skipped that bowl, so the captains chose to not play, citing not playing whole made sense to them in a meaningless bowl game, but he also joked of saying brown sugar Pop-Tarts are his favorite. Yeah, it's just not a good look.
I hear you.
We get the reasons.
If the kids make the call, though, I didn't know that. I'm much more okay with it if the kids didn't want to play.
Yeah, but really, that's what an institution like Notre Dame should do. Let 18-year-olds decide in an emotional moment what's the best course. No, you tell those kids, guys, this is life. Let's be men about it. Sorry, maybe I'm old school. Stu, Wilmo Betts. Thank you, Adam Burke, for eloquently stating that the system should be changed. We don't need expansion if we're actually putting the 12 best in the playoffs. Also, can we stop referring to college athletes as kids? They're paid professionals. 18-year-old kids. There, I said it. All right. We got a lot of games to get to.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
4:25 Eastern, Lions at Rams.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, this has huge implications for both, especially the Lions, who even after beating Dallas on Thursday night, they'll have extra rest here. But they lose this, and all of a sudden it becomes dicey for them because they'll be thrown into that whole mix of, in or out, that kind of thing. So it's really big for them. Whereas the Rams are trying to be the number 1 seed, let alone win the NFC West. Neck and neck with the Seahawks, 1 game ahead of the Niners in the West. What a game this is. Rams yesterday in that game against the Cardinals, 530 total yards. 530.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rams by 4, I'll say. We've got to be more than a field goal.
This one is Rams 5.5. Wow.
Woo-hoo.
There's 6s on the board.
Wow. Okay, that's more than I thought.
This is jumped up pretty.
Not betting it yet, but wow.
Yeah, we opened like 4.5. I was in that dead zone. Okay. Not crazy movement to the Rams side.
Next.
All right, we've got Panthers at Saints.
7-6 Panthers, tied with the Buccaneers at the top of the NFC South. Good God. New Orleans coming off that win against Tampa Bay, which we talked about earlier. They're 3-10. Tyler Shuck was 13 of 20 for 144, but 7 for 55 on the ground and 2 touchdowns. He's a regular Michael Vick out there. Okay, maybe not. Panthers by 3 on the road.
Yeah, that feels like what it should be, right, Gill?
Yes.
2.5, 3 out there. I laid 2.5 with the Panthers.
That makes sense.
Not big, because I hate this Panthers team, if I've not made that clear all season long. But, I thought 2.5 was a little light to be laying against the Saints.
How about the Carolina Panthers and the Carolina Panthers have let's do it this way. Forget the Panthers for a second because they're 7-6. The Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens now have the same record as the Miami Dolphins, both at 6-7, all 3 at 6-7.
Say that again?
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens have the same record as the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, sure do.
6-7. Next.
All right, still 4:25 Eastern. Titans at 49ers.
Titans at 49ers. The 2-11 Titans. We give them an extra game there. 2-11 Titans at the 9-4 Niners. Titans were outgained by Cleveland 412 to 292 in victory yesterday.
That win was so big it felt like 2 wins.
That's right.
That's right.
I think it counted that way in the standings. San Francisco by 10.5 coming off the bye here.
The classic Gill Alexander Titans trend continues. Nope, 12.5.
Too low. I'm always too low. By the way, again, what are the odds of the Titans taking a lead of any kind here at the beginning? They seem to lead at the beginning of every game. Doesn't matter. Except it did yesterday. Next.
4:25 Eastern. So why do we not have a 4:05? What am I missing here?
I don't know.
That feels a little odd. We have 5 late window games, but they all start at 4:25 Eastern. Colts at Seahawks.
Oh, poor Colts. Down to 8-5 now. No Daniel Jones. Riley Leonard is your man, though Kelley is trying to wish Anthony Richardson back into the lineup.
Oh, I want to see it. Come on.
Would you like to tell people what you said off air?
I don't remember what I said off air.
You said, I'm not really that interested in the Colts, but if Anthony Richardson came back, I would be really interested.
Yeah, but I didn't meant from interested from backing them with money. I want to see this team with Anthony Richardson, not just
who do you
go
love
out.
more, Jameis or Anthony Richardson?
Jameis.
Okay. Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's not get crazy. Come on. The guy's got to show me something. That's why I want him to actually play a couple of these games.
Riley Leonard was 18 of 29 for 145 in relief of Daniel Jones yesterday. Colts were -2 in turnovers in their loss to the Jaguars. Sam Darnold, again, the Seahawks sort of lollygagged for a half. It was 6-6 at halftime before they just blew the doors off the Falcons in the second half. Darnold was 20 of 30 for 249. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, 7 for 92, 2 touchdowns. Seattle -7.5. It's got to be more than 7 with this Colts outfit now.
It is way more than that. 11.5, 12.5.
Oh, wow. It's really adjusted.
You know what the look ahead on this was? 3.5. When Daniel Jones was healthy and they were going to be playing.
So Daniel Jones to Riley Leonard, what are we saying the adjustment is on this?
Well, it's 8 points.
8 points.
From what the look ahead was. Now
that's probably a little too much, but I get it.
It's not just the quarterback, right? Take into account what happened in the games.
All right. Still made a couple bets. Looking for more. We got primetime games still to get to?
Primetime games to get to.
We'll get primetime games, then we'll recap all the bets on the other side. It is a numbers game, guessing lines for Week 15 in the National Football League, right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Think you know sports? Get paid for it with Better Picks, the daily fantasy app that turns your sports knowledge into real cash. Just download Better, that's BETR, pick more or less on your favorite player's stats, and if your pick hits, or if your picks hit, you win. New users get a free $10 just for signing up. No deposit required, and when you deposit, you'll get a 50% match up to $200. Play WNBA, NBA, MLB, soccer, UFC, golf, and more. Go to better.app or download Better today. Use promo code VSiN for your free $10 in deposit bonus. That's Better, BETR, with user code VSiN. Promo code or user code, whichever you want to call it. We get tweets at Beating the Book. I just want to read these two. Talk about Brian M. The people need fashion icon Kelley Bydlon's top 12 luxury brands. And the great Swami Gator says, laughed my butt off watching Gill and Kelley scramble to think of fashion brands for his analogy. Proof they're everyday men helping us folk out here.
Yeah.
Thank you, great Swami Gator.
I didn't really think Gill was going to keep going with that. And then I was like, I guess I have to jump in here and try to help.
I'm just saying, it's like...
I think that Hugo Boss was the first one I thought of.
That's all college football is. It's like Bama is given... I even said this over the weekend. I was like, if Bama lost a fourth game, let's say that was their fourth loss, you think somebody in that room would have tried to figure out a way to get them in? I do. They'd have been like, well, it was twice to this team and once, and this was on the road. Like, they just get none of this is the worst tweet I've ever got. I don't know if it's the worst tweet I've ever got, but one of the worst tweets I got this year was about 6 weeks ago, and somebody said to me, Gill, you don't know what you're talking about. It's all formulaic. I'm like, it is? What? I didn't even respond. I'm like, are you serious?
I'm one of the worst people to say this. Because, the response to this could just be like, Kelley, it'd be nice if you cared about anything more. But, if people cared as much about some of the problems in the world as we care about the college football playoff problems.
Absolutely. Unlike this man right here, ladies and gentlemen, Kelley Bydlon, deeply concerned about all the problems of the world.
That's where I said I'm not the right person to say this, all right? I don't care about anything.
Let's go to Sunday night.
Sunday Night Football. Vikings at Cowboys.
All right, so the Cowboys wait this game tonight between the Chargers and Eagles with bated breath, because this is going to be huge for their playoff possibilities. The Eagles win. Oh, boy. Some of those Cowboys bets I made are tostada. I know that's not It's not the translation of toast. I get it. Minnesota crushes Washington. J.J. McCarthy, 16 of 23 for 163. 3 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 4 times. Minnesota held Washington. This is another reason why Jaden shouldn't have played. You have the team with the highest pressure rate on defense. Held Washington 12 first downs, 206 total yards, plus 3 in turnovers. We're the Vikings. Dallas coming off that loss to Detroit on Thursday night. Dak was 31 of 47 for 376. And remember, CeeDee Lamb, 6 of 121, 6 for 121 before he left with injury. Flournoy, 9 for 115 in the game where George Pickens sort of disappeared. Sort of nonchalanted it after CeeDee Lamb left. Minnesota, Dallas. I will say, boys, is Dallas on the turf against that Minnesota defense. I still think Dallas is a big favorite here. I split the difference between 7 and 10. I said -8.5 for the Cowboys.
Wow. Dallas Cowboys, 6.5.
Ooh, I went high on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any interest in betting the Cowboys? I kind of had the same reaction yesterday.
Yes.
I thought this was going to be 7.
I do have interest.
Yeah, me too. I haven't bet it yet. I don't know why.
I do have
I thought
interest.
this would be like 7.5.
Monday night.
Monday Night Football. We have the Dolphins at the Steelers.
Wow. We start with a couple. Thursday night game is not that great. What was the Thursday night game? Atlanta.
Which is not very exciting overall at Tampa. Atlanta at Tampa.
Atlanta, Tampa. Then Sunday night or Monday night.
So many big games this past week, man.
I mean, it is a big game for the Steelers, right? Steelers lead the AFC North now at 7-6. 1 win and 1 tie away from keeping that Mike Tomlin streak alive of never having had a losing season.
Dolphins just deciding to win games. For
Dolphins just ruining their draft pick. 6-7. Tua was 13 of 21 for 127 yesterday against the Jets. He didn't really have to do much. Jalen Wright, 24 for 107. Achane, 7 of 92. Both of them scored before Achane got hurt. Held the Jets. Jets is just like Washington. Held the Jets to 12 first downs, 207 yards. And the Dolphins were +3 in turnovers. Is that almost exactly what I just said about the Vikings? Oh, to the yard. 12 first downs, both to Washington and the Jets. Washington, 206 total yards. Jets, 207 total yards, both +3 in turnovers. Minnesota and Miami.
Wow.
I thought I was reading the same line over. Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, 42 years old, man. Good on him. Rodgers, 23 of 34 for 284. DK, 7 for 148. They outgained Baltimore 420 to 318. They outgained Baltimore. Oh, no, pardon me. They were outgained by Baltimore 420 to 318 and were outgained by Baltimore 217 to 34. Is that right? On the ground? Wow. Still won. Pittsburgh -4.5.
This one is, I believe you're a little heavy, 3.5. Steelers, 3.5.
I kind of like Pittsburgh. 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Dallas, and I kind of like Pittsburgh. Didn't make those bets, but kind of like them.
Yeah, I'm going to watch where this Dallas line moves.
Yeah. All right.
Steelers, Dolphins, tough, man. Dolphins care. They care for some reason. I don't know why, but they keep playing like they're caring.
like they're carrying.
Yeah,
not like they're Karen. That girl. I just want to say this. So I just mentioned Aaron Rodgers, great performance. He had some great passes yesterday. I just want to go back to Caleb Williams for a second. They didn't do much in the first half. The Bears didn't. But I thought Caleb Williams, and I tried to emphasize this when we did the recap, I thought he made some unbelievable throws yesterday. And again, for all the incoming he took last year, some from sounders on this show that came from the back, the Merrill Hodge quote, Caleb Williams, yes, what's my scouting report on him every time? Are there still too many plays where he's a whirling dervish? The last play of the game where they ended up losing the game. But I think Ben Johnson set him up for failure by not using those timeouts. And then the play call was against your body. Like, okay, of course, Caleb's going to mess that up. But generally speaking, I thought Caleb was outstanding in defeat yesterday. Our NFL power rankings could be interesting tomorrow, Kelley. Let me just put it that way. Could be interesting. Here are the bets I made on this show today. Bengals +2.5 versus the Ravens. I don't understand why the Bengals aren't the favorite. The market just keeps overrating the Ravens week after week. It's madness. Bills only 1-point favorites at the Patriots. Thank you very much. Packers only giving up 1.5 at the Broncos. Thank you very much. Again, exploiting the Patriots never playing anybody. I know they beat the Bills earlier, but I explained to you about the turnovers in that game. And the Broncos beat all these patsies by very little. Also had Miami to make the college football playoff at plus 451. Sunday was a winning day even before it was a winning day later. And then I still got these Cowboys bets. I really need the Chargers to win tonight for these. Cowboys to lose in the divisional round 12-1. Cowboys to lose in the conference championship game 22-1. Cowboys to win the East 10-1. You, sir.
Yeah, you and I are Chargers fans tonight.
Yes, we are.
Okay, just put in a bet. All right, I had the Timberwolves at 8.5. I just bought off that, though, because Anthony Edwards downgraded to questionable with an illness. So I just grabbed some Suns, so you can forget about that one. Panthers laying 2.5, Packers 1.5 for me. That is it for the NFL so far for Week 15. I'm with you on the Cowboys, though. I think I'm going to watch where that one moves today.
Yep. And then that was it, because Adam Burke really didn't have an official bet today on the show.
Yeah, I said he was liking Washington this coming Saturday in college football, but
all right. And then Chargers, Eagles tonight. I don't have a play, but the total is 42. Is that low enough? Don't have a pre-flop play on it, but if anything, I'm thinking under. But I have not played anything yet. Eagles favored by 2 on the road. Omari and Hampton, we believe, will be activated for this game for the Chargers.
Jalen Carter for the Eagles.
No Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter might be out for a while.
I mean, I would think so. Some of these guys, though, it's like surgery on both shoulders.
Yeah, what the?
I'm like, oh, okay, I'd be out for a year and a half.
Both shoulders?
Both shoulders. I don't even know what that means.
Shoulder surgery can be serious, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Jalen Phillips, Zach Bond will both go. They were both listed as probable earlier. Probable? It's a new category. That's what I said earlier.
Probable.
Yeah, Hampton with the upgrade, so it looks like he will go. Yeah, I'm with you. Probably lean to the under. If I had to play a side, it would be Eagles. But no, I think we'll be just rooting. I mean, you'll be just rooting for the Chargers, right?
Yeah, just rooting for the Chargers.
And Eagles L's. Let's get those Cowboys tickets home.